All right, welcome to the first ever Wasteful Thinking podcast.
My name is Dylan,
My name is Josh.
and
Together we make...
the Wasteful Thinking crew.
Oh, I was going to say together we make Jillin, or Dosh.
Together we make sweet, sweet love.
Yeah, we do make sweet love. We do make pretty sweet love together.
Well, sometimes
I
it's
don't know.
sweet, sometimes it's tender, sometimes it's juicy, other times it's really rough and
Yeah.
violent, and you like pull my hair and I cry and you console me afterwards.
I love doing that. I love making you cry and then being able to console you because it gets me hard and then I can go back into you again.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that. I like that.
I'm honest about the way that I mentally torment you.
You're a good man.
You're a good man, too. Welcome to the Wasteful Thinking podcast.
Can't wait to keep podcasting with you.
You bet,
Starting
man.
now.
Chippy boy.
All right,
Hold on. Stop it and restart it.
we're here. This is it.
Restart it, you cuck.
We're live. Nope. That's where it's going to start.
Oh, you fucking asshole. I didn't even get myself situated yet.
All right, get yourself situated then. Get your drink, get your fucking whatever.
Alright, I'm situated. And, like I said before.
Oh, you've got your drugs. You've
I
got
got
your...
it. Oh yeah, I love drugs. Anyway. You know what the best shits are? Well, it's weird.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
That's a chippy boy.
Dude, you gotta pick that chip up.
Oh, fucking A. Henry,
You know what?
Tell Henry to eat it.
No, we don't feed our dogs
Human meat?
human food. That's recycling.
Yeah, recycle the chippy boy. The garbage man will eat it.
That's racist.
How's that? Garbage men aren't a race. I mean, granted, most of them are Mexican, but that doesn't...
Now that's racist.
How is that racist? It's an inference.
Yeah, I actually have no idea. I'm just repeating what
That's
everyone
like
else
saying
says.
there's a lot of black guys in the NBA.
Oh, there are. Yeah.
That's just true.
That's racist.
No, it's not racist. Just because it's about a race doesn't make it racist. Like if I were to say, I think women are more attractive than men, you can't call
That's
me a
because you're
sexist.
straight. That's because you're straight.
Oh, so is that homophobic then?
Yeah, I have no idea. All right, you were going to talk about taking a shit.
Oh, okay.
That makes more sense to me
I had a
now.
shit the other day, and I've had a lot of shits like this in my life. But
Yeah.
this shit, it's like a milestone shit. It's when, like, you're on the verge of whether or not you have to poop or not. So you just go in the bathroom just in case. You sit on the toilet, and you start pushing out for about 15 minutes, and nothing's happening. And you're just pushing and pushing and pushing. Nothing's coming up. And you're just like, oh, fuck. And then as you're about to get off, you start to feel a little bit of a tug on the end of your anus.
Wait, get off?
Yeah, get off the shitter.
Oh, okay.
Or jerk off. I don't know. Whatever you want. If you want to shit and jerk it at the same time, that's fine with me. I'm not going to judge you. But anyway, so as I was about to get off, I was like, oh, there's a little bit. And then I pushed really hard, and then out came just a little plopper down there.
Yeah.
And that was a great shit. It was one minuscule turd, but after all like the effort and work I put into that turd, it felt great.
I don't know if I'm on board
Because I
with
felt
that.
like it hurt. And like,
Yeah.
if you shit and it hurts, but it ends up coming out, and you feel great.
I'm not on board with it, with any of that.
What do you mean?
Because you had all that effort for nothing.
No, it was for
one
something.
nugget. No.
Oh, it was for something. For me, it
It's-
was something.
All right.
Your expectations are too high, is what the problem is.
Well, maybe I have proof of
I had proof too.
high effort equals high volume. I want to see a coil of turd in that bowl.
Well, think about it this way:
I don't want to see just
if
one
high
little
effort
nugget.
meant high reward at all times, then the world won't work that way. So think about it. I'll put it in the case with women, right? The harder you try for a woman, the less likely you're going to get that woman, right?
Is that really true?
And the
though?
lower the effort you put in, the easier it is.
This is going back to your philosophy though of how to attract women. You treat them like shit.
No, you
and
don't
then they
treat
love
them
you.
like shit. You have to be semi-mean to them.
Okay.
Enough to show that you're
Can you
domineering.
actually formally explain this point of view? Then I want to. I've never actually asked you to formally explain why you think that way.
I don't know why. I know this way because it's what's always been done to anyone I've ever talked to. Let me put it this way. There's been women I've talked to that I could talk to just like be just a great guy, just nice guy, do stuff for him, blah, blah, blah.
He's already fucked.
I
If he's a
get-
nice guy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, you already subscribed to my theory, you fucking asshole. Anyway, what really gets their attention is when, like, they ask you to do something for them, and you just say, no, I don't want to. And then they get mad. And then you win the argument, but they never think you win. Women refuse to win an argument.
True.
You know what happened the other day? Alyssa was
Yeah.
losing an argument with her stepfather. So you know what she said? Because her stepfather and mom are arguing. And she said this. and I've never heard it put in this term before, but now my life's changed forever. She said, even if we're wrong, we just want you to say sorry.
Oh, wow.
And I was sitting up there. I was trying not to listen to the fight because that's none of my business, but I heard that. And I think I ripped out half the hair in my head. Because that's the most infuriating fucking statement I've ever heard, and it's about as true as it can possibly get. Think about it. How many times have you been right arguing with, like, your ex? And she knew that you were right, but she still wanted you to be the bad guy and you had to apologize.
All the time. I was just talking about that recently, too. About how it was literally her entire goal was to kind of make her be a victim and make me be the one who's, like, trying to shit on her. So then that way I'd feel bad and she would use me, like, my kind of, like, semi-baitedness a little bit.
Well, that's...
to kind of, like, feel bad for her.
That's how they win. Is that they know that... Listen, men and women have different brains, right? Men are more domineering, logical. Women are more emotional and nurturing. So in order for them to win, their win for you is not to win the argument. That means nothing to them. But how they win it? I mean, okay, let me reword that. They want to win the argument just as bad as we do. But they can't win it through debate. Like what me and you can say you're having a debate, there's going to be a clear winner by the end most of the time. How they win, they won't win in the debate, at least with any girl I've ever been with. How they end up winning is just getting you to say sorry, because that automatically makes you... Because you don't apologize for something unless you did something wrong, right? Unless you attacked them or something. So by you apologizing, that brings you from being above them to being all the way below them, because you literally had to give up part of your argument just to appease them and basically admit you did something wrong. And that's how they get you. And it's fucking infuriating. Because I've had to apologize for shit I've never even thought of before.
Yeah.
I had to Listen, put it this way. I've had fucking go to bed, wake up, to my ex look at me like, I'm fucking mad at you. I was like, what? What's going on? She's like, I had a dream last night and you cheated on me. And I was like, what? She goes, why would you do that? I was like, I'm sorry. All right, I didn't mean to. And she was like, it's okay. It's just a dream. It's just a dream anyway. No, I just want to go the fuck back to bed. All right. If
Sorry, like 5 o'clock in the morning? Like
this is about 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna.
Was she just awake, just staring at you like?
That's exactly what happened. It was fucking horrifying.
Isn't that
but
weird?
You can't go into full alpha mode at 3:30 if you want to get your sleep. You go into full alpha. Alphas don't sleep.
It's gonna disrupt your circadian rhythm. You're gonna be awake. You're gonna be all fucked up.
Exactly. Alphas have a fight first mentality.
Do you disturb the main lion of a pride when he's trying to sleep? You don't wake him up. If you wake him up, he's gonna kick your ass. He's gonna go in there and fuck you up.
Yeah, but think about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Wait, that's actually a good point. That if you wake up the alpha, he will fight.
He will fucking fight.
Okay, but in this, I already won the argument, right? Because I didn't cheat on her. Her dreams cheated on her. All right, so I already won right there. I didn't even have to debate to win. Mm-hmm. So in order to get back to bed, if I would have got up and started fighting, then I wouldn't have been able to get back to bed, and then I would have just been pissed off for the rest of the day. So in order to just I threw that in. Sorry, whatever. I didn't mean to in your dream. How dare I? And she bought it. I don't know how.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it surprised me at all.
I don't know what else she expected me to do.
You said exactly what she wanted you to say. That's why.
Yep. And then you know what happened after that?
Fell away with the sleep.
I went right back to bed, and I woke up a better man for it.
Because you avoided that fight. Like, you avoided having to deal with, like, of course I didn't cheat on you. Why would I ever, I wouldn't do that. And then she's like, say you're sorry. And then where do you go from there?
No, because when you say, no, I wouldn't cheat on you, why would I do that? Then they bring up some shit that happened years ago that's still been boiling in anger, like, well, you do think other women are attractive. And then you're already down the rabbit hole. You can't go anywhere from that. So you wake up, they're annoyed, you just apologize, you go back to bed. Hopefully they're fine too.
Yeah,
because if they're not, this is the difference between men and women. Men are really pissed off at the girl. They'll tell her, just fucking go to bed. So that way I can just do whatever I want to do. Women, they will get mad at you. You'll be like, fuck it, whatever, I'm cooling off, I'm going to bed. Just tell me whenever I wake up. And they're like, no, we have to have this fight now. Whereas men just want to get away from them. They're just like, just go, I'll go over here, you stay right there, and you leave me alone. They want the confrontation, which is, I think it's just vicious.
I mean, it's not always a bad thing, though, to have a confrontation. If you can just get it out of the way and you'd be done with it. Better to do it then than wait 5 years.
When has a fight... When has that ever happened, though?
When
has it ever been like, no, we're having this fight now. All right. 2 minutes later, it's like, all right, that's good. That's good.
Actually...
Go back to bed. Okay, it might have happened like once. Right?
Yeah, you know what? It probably happened maybe twice at the most.
How many times was it better for you to say, fuck it, I'm going, just give me a minute? And then you just do whatever you gotta do, and then it's fine. Then you don't even remember it later. So then when they do press it again, why did you do this? You were so thrown off guard, and you're having a good time before that. You're like, whatever. All right? Then you just appease them. And then they think they won, but really you won. Because they were stewing in anger over that for hours.
Yes, probably.
Hours.
Yeah.
Women stew in fucking hatred. They have way too long of attention spans. They can focus on 88 different things at once. I'll be in the fight, and then I'll be like, fuck it. I'll go. I'll play, I don't know, NHL or Shadow of Mordor for like fucking half an hour. And then I won't even think about the whole fight during that. They'll just be sitting,
for sure.
They'll be sitting there like reading a book. Like reading fucking People magazine. Like,
People magazine?
Look at Johnny Depp. I bet he wouldn't fucking do that. And then they just keep scrolling through.
Or Facebook.
Oh,
or
Jesus Christ.
whatever the hell it is.
No, it is Facebook. Because then they're like, I'm going to talk about this online, and then other people are going to back me up that have no part in this conversation, don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And
the
then
people who just post,
then
like,
I'm gonna
feeling
have
upset today,
Yeah.
feeling betrayed
Yeah.
today, sad face, whatever.
Yeah, they're like, I have supporters now when I didn't say anything.
Oh, those 5 people who commented on your
yeah,
post?
and those 5 people, 4 of them are dudes that want to white knight you into the bedroom.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happens every single time.
And they probably have a woman that they want to bang, and then they just wait every time they post something on Facebook that's negative. They're there immediately. They're like, oh, it's okay, baby, don't worry about it.
But,
like,
did you ever do that?
I had to think about it because I'm the kind of person who would. But like,
Are you a white knight a little
oh,
bit?
yeah, absolutely. Dude, that was the exact reason why I got together with my ex-girlfriend for so long, was because I met her, she was having, bad dreams about her ex-boyfriend and everything, and he was stalking her, and I was like, hey, don't worry. She'd come to me crying, and I would love it. I honestly would get kind of aroused. I get a little bit aroused when...
When women are fucking crying?
Not like
That's
full
pretty
on,
alpha.
not full on like crying, like they're like, but just a little bit sad, because then they want someone to comfort them, and that comfort level, I gotta say, man, that really...
That coincides with something else, too.
Yeah,
is
tell me
that
about
you
it.
think the reason, like, oh, they're sad now, I can comfort them. Like, that's just, like, I think. But if you think into it, like, deeply, like, when you're emotional, you make horrible decisions, right? Like, if you fucking tell me to get into a fucking debate or some shit, or write a huge paper after I watch, like, The Kite Runner or something, where I'm just so fucking, like, why did that happen? All this depressing shit.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be as good if I'm just sitting down, like, thinking about, like, yeah, blah, blah, whatever. So, when you go in there, and they're all upset and shit, and they need someone to comfort them, then you start to plant your seeds a little bit when they don't realize it, because when you don't remember as much when you're emotional other than exactly what's happening and what made you feel better.
Yeah.
So you drop in little manipulative seeds here and there while they're upset.
I'm not trying
They're going
to,
to
though.
forget
I'm
them,
not
but
trying to.
subconsciously, no, you're not trying to, but that's what happens anyway. By not trying it, it's just exactly how it works. Because you get in those little things, and then they don't remember that.
Yeah.
But they're there.
Because
And
you're
then
the one who was
later
there for
on,
them.
They manifest, and
Yeah.
they don't realize it. And then say, like, you're such a good guy for doing, like, even the biggest fucking dick in the world. If a girl's crying and comes by, he goes, what's going on? He gives him a hug or whatever. This dude could literally punch her best friend in the fucking cunt. And then if he comes by and she's crying and nobody else is there, you have this one person you have to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to think, like, oh, I was sad and he was there for me. It's like, yeah, you don't think that's exactly what he was counting on? Like, that's how it works,
He
dude.
was
You're not
walking
gonna-
back there in the shadows the whole
but
time, waiting.
It's weird, and it's very, like, predatory, but it's just fucking how men and women
Oh,
work.
thank you.
I'm not saying you're a predator. I'm saying that the action is predatory.
You're right. There's not much of a line that
It's
separates.
not. I'm not saying like sexual predator.
Oh,
I'm saying
okay,
predator
okay,
like
sure, yeah.
You find an opening and you take it, so you attack, sort of
Yes.
thing, without actually
like a
attacking.
hunter.
Pretty much. So it's really.
Isn't it kind of arousing though, in a way? Not like sexually, but like
to know that you did this
are
sort of
are
thing.
needed. No, like yeah, someone walks up to you and they're like upset and they want you to comfort them. Like,
Oh, I know what you're saying. You're saying like the fact that it's you and not someone else, and that you're on this mountain right now. You're above everybody else.
You're on that pedestal.
You're on the peak.
The peak.
Everybody else is in a valley, or they're underneath the peak, and you can. But if you're on the peak, you can just drop like a rock, and then they have to run away,
Yeah.
and then you win, no matter what. But no, I see exactly.
But I think
that's the difference between a man and a woman, too. Is that men know how to like attack situations like that. If a girl sees a man crying, she's instantly put off, right? She's like, why is he crying? Most women, not these fucking millennial,
Well, the progressives,
millennial men who love to cry all the time.
They want men to cry. Which, look, if you cry every once in a while, it's completely fine.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
Family member dies, a really depressing movie, or something like shitty happens, whatever. But if if you're just hanging out and like something slightly uncomfortable happens and you just start crying like a bitch, no, they're gonna fucking hate that. And they're gonna be like, he's crying like a little bitch. Why don't I have a real man? And then they go fuck somebody else. Whereas a man, they know, oh, she's crying. Yeah. Yes, that's the opening I was looking for the whole time. Like, she's emotional. She's gonna make bad decisions. Everything else I've done before this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because
I
this one thing
now it's all wiped away.
is going to make everything else okay, because you make horrible decisions when you're emotional and you don't realize that they're bad until way too late.
You walk in there like Gollum.
My precious.
Well, think about it. There's like people have like rebound sex, and they
yeah.
have like start dating people after they break up with somebody, and like then they realize like months later, like, I've been with this fucking waste of absolute space for a while, and I didn't realize it until now because.
And he's just back there with his thumbs up.
Yeah, he's like yeah,
I don't care. I know I'm a fucking loser, but I got laid for 3 years. Bitch. Yeah.
It's
all right. Let's dissect something here. Then we're gonna dissect something.
What are we gonna dissect?
So here's there's an idea going around that we've already been talking about this. How you can't be super attached to women because that actually kind of turns them off, even though it's maybe what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's what they really actually want. You can't be a complete dickhead. So there's a certain like kind of detachment, but you also show that you're strong and you care. It's like a weird thing. So then this whole idea that women end up with like the bad guys or like the jerks. What does it even mean?
Hold on. I'll do the first half.
Okay.
I haven't read anything on this, but this is a theory of mine.
All right, go for it.
So you say like you want the guy who's not attached, who's like strong, and like if you leave, doesn't care. You know what I think that comes down to is evolution, and I think it comes from like hunter-gatherers, right? So when we were in tribes and shit, if you're with your whole group, right, a mammoth attacks, right? Yeah. You're hunting a mammoth gets the upper hand, attacks your group. If you're the guy that's like, fuck it, I'm out, then you survive, right? And
all right.
If you go back, chances are, yeah, I mean, granted, you could save someone, and you could save a few people and yourself. Chances are, if you go into the fucking ambush like that, you're not going to make it out. So that mentality, the survivors are the ones that either kill it or they run away and just leave everything else behind. Like, they don't care enough to go back and help. They're looking out for themselves, which is how you survive. And what I think that has to do with this is that women are like, I want a guy to where, well, not say this, but the men that they are with are the guys who leave other people behind to advance their own goals and make it, survive. Like, everybody else is dead. I ran away. I said, fuck them. I'm not going to go and help them. I'm just going to help myself. And then they get with the woman. And, like, how that would work out through evolution is, like, if someone attacks, like, a bear comes in or some shit, and, like, I don't know, like, say I'm in the tribe, right? And they're attacked somewhere else. He could leave them behind and come back, all right? But if he stays in their attacks, that's just a stupid decision, and he's not going to make it. You know what I mean?
Interesting. So it's not someone...
I could be completely wrong.
Well, so you're saying they don't want the person who is so aggressive they're going to go after it, unintentionally, or no, instinctually go after it, maybe risk themselves and die. They don't want the guy who's the complete coward who just hides in the corner and cries. Yeah. So the middle ground is the logical person who says, can I win this fight? No, it's better to just leave this behind and just go out. Yeah. Well, there's this whole idea of, like, the dude who kind of, like, stalks around the corner. Not like a stalker, I should say, but like
Well, stalking's a verb. Like, I'm not saying it's a stalker, someone who stalks around.
but like someone who's complicated. You know, you always
Yeah,
see these
no, I know
stupid
what you mean.
Pinterest posts about. Why is that thing lit up for almost no reason? Like they want the complicated guy. That's this whole Pinterest thing now. Is like you want to find a guy who has deep dark secrets he won't share with you. Just bullshit like that. And like, what the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
What are there people out there who are like, God, I want a person who's just really fucking damaged, who's really fucked
Well, I
up."
think that could be like,
A female white knight. They want to save him.
it's possible. Because, well, that would make sense because women are more nurturing. There's more teachers, more nurses, all this kind of thing that are women. More like medics, people like EMTs. There's more women of that because they have like a biological drive to like help people.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, that would make sense. But I also think that like a mysterious guy is think about it. You're watching a movie, right? Say you watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, awesome.
Who's a more interesting character in Game of Thrones?
You
Jon
know-
Snow,
Yeah,
who 99% of the time does the right thing, or Jaime Lannister, who is just so fucking completely black, completely white, whole lot of gray, just has so many different things going on, more interesting to watch, more interesting to think about, ponder, debate, and shit like that.
Yeah.
Other than the guy who just does the right thing at all times. So think about it. You get a guy who's like deeply like secretive and like hiding a little bit. You want to figure that out. It's like a drive to like be a detective, investigate, figure everything out.
Yeah.
Other than he comes at you, just lays it all on the table, and you're like, okay, well I figured it out. Oh, there's no interest in that.
although my ex-girlfriend, she actually likes Jon Snow the most.
Well, that's because
And-
Jon Snow is beautiful. Fucking look at him.
It's yeah.
He-
Now I like Jaime Lannister more
See,
personally.
Jaime Lannister's my favorite character in literary
I
history.
completely agree. Completely agree.
But I mean,
Yeah, I completely agree. Jaime Lannister is probably my favorite character in all of Game of Thrones. But she liked Jon Snow, though. And she liked him because she was like, oh, he's so sexy, he's so strong and masculine. And I was
he
like,
doesn't fuck his sister.
yes,
Although,
that's true.
in the original draft, back when George R. R. Martin thought it was going to be a trilogy, Jon Snow ended up marrying Arya.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Isn't that fucked up?
She's so
But I mean,
young.
it's not his sister. It would be his cousin because Lyanna and Rhaegar are his real.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what makes more
in
sense.
the books, Arya's like 11, I think, or no, she's 9 by like where the books are now. She's like 11.
Yeah.
John was only I think 15 or 14 or 15 when he went to the Night's Watch. So I mean, a 17-year-old in the Middle Ages marries an 11-year-old. That's really
That's not too
unheard
crazy.
of
Yeah,
at all.
no.
Like now it's
For sure.
fucking. Now it's disgusting, but back then it's like it's just what they did. You know what I mean?
You know, where do you think this whole... Because this has just made me think about this whole thing when... where did the whole 18 you're an adult thing come from? Where did the whole 17, 16 age of consent thing happen? Like, where did this all begin?
18 as an adult came because your prefrontal cortex, which is like all like your logic, your thinking, and shit
Yeah.
like that, it's fully developed by the time you're 21, right? So it used to be like you were like pretty much you were an adult at like 14 or 15 when they didn't like know that shit. Just when you're old enough to like when you're getting muscular, more testosterone, you started to become fertile, shit like that. But then I'm pretty sure it was like, oh, your prefrontal cortex, and this is when you're really adult because this is when like everything's
You're not
your
an
whole
adult.
body's grown. No, I'm not. Your whole body's like grown. You're gonna make the same decisions or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being 18 when it was like, listen, like we need like in America at least because adult age is different everywhere. But 18 in this country, you think 18 because you can vote, you can smoke, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's because like the only reason you can vote at 18 now is because they wanted you to be in the draft.
Yeah,
selective
yeah.
service.
Makes
So like, we
sense.
think of 18 as adult because like basically we need them to fight, and so we have to give them this other shit in order to like because if you can't, that was the whole Vietnam thing. If you can't vote, then why can you go to war?
Yeah.
So it's like basically these guys are adults now. Let them be. We'll give them this right to vote if they can fight for us.
Wait, so you're saying that the right to vote wasn't given to 18-year-olds until Vietnam? 1960s?
After Vietnam.
Really?
That's when I think it was.
Holy shit.
I think it was there's what 27 amendments, is it, or 24?
I know. I think there's
26,
at least
I
over
think.
20.
I think it was like the 23rd or 24th amendment, where they made 18 the legal voting age.
Holy shit. What was it before?
21.
Wow. Now, was this also the time when drinking age was also 21? So drinking age and right to vote
Drinking
both were
age-
equal? Which I know fluctuated around
Drinking
like
age, I think,
20s
was
or so.
Well, the 18th Amendment outlawed alcohol in the country, and the 21st Amendment
Which is kind of funny how
brought
that
it back.
lined
Yeah,
up.
yeah. That's how you're supposed to remember in APUS history. Like that's how I remembered.
I think the 20th Amendment is women's suffrage, right? Isn't that because it lines up with like 19th? Fuck.
19th
Okay,
Amendment
alright.
is women's suffrage.
Good for you, man.
Well, think about it. Fucking women. The reason why the 18th Amendment was around was because everybody was getting drunk and beating the shit out of their wives.
Oh, great.
So like they're like, Jesus Christ, we don't want our husbands coming home drinking a whole bottle of whiskey and then fucking throwing me in the dryer. We need, we need something in that.
They had dryers back then? Kenmore was making
No, they
dryers?
had it was Samsung back then.
Samsung.
Samsung, they hit their peak then, and they slowly went down.
They
and
started
then
making
they made the
phones.
Galaxy, so now they're
Yeah,
back.
now they're all good to go. The Galaxy S1. She likes attention.
Your cat loves attention. Dude.
Um,
It's a great cat. Why is it so fucking mad right now?
she's not mad. She's hold on.
Why is she meowing then? It wants you to pick her up and stroke her.
Basically.
Oh shit! Oh, you fucker! You dropped the mic.
No,
You
and dropping.
And now we're back after your cat
Alright.
literally just fucked it up.
It was actually my fault. I picked the cat up because I thought she wanted attention.
But then it jumped and ripped the fucking mic cord out.
Yeah, that was pretty unbelievable. Anyway, we were talking about women getting beat up in Kenmore dryers. Samsung dryers, which then became Kenmore after they stopped making phones.
absolutely.
The Galaxy S1 came out in 1945, so...
Well, Samsung sells dryers. I have a Samsung dryer.
They make TVs, dryers, and phones?
Dude, they're fucking Korean. They make everything.
That's true.
There's probably a fucking Samsung StarCraft player out there. His name's Samsung.
What? Actually, you're probably right. Well, they literally have a team called Samsung Galaxy, so...
Yeah, really?
Yeah, they actually literally do.
Why
Yeah,
are Koreans
yeah.
so fucking good at video games?
I have no idea.
I honestly, dude, like, it's really weird. It's so weird that, like, so many people that are, like, there's these different, like, kinds of things that have no, like, evolutionary basis or, like, biological standing or anything. They just happen to be just so much better than other races.
Yeah.
Like, think about fucking... South Koreans are by far the best fucking video game players. Blacks are by far the best athletes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there could be, but this is called racist now. But what my dad always figured, and what makes complete sense to me, is that you breed when there was slavery, you breed the biggest and the best slaves, so that way they can do better work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like LeBron, people like LeBron, they're just these freaks of fucking nature. Because there's no white LeBron, there's just not there.
Yeah.
Like, you would think that like maybe they're bred like that for so long, like selective breeding, that just now they're all, not all of them, but like
No,
the
yeah,
vast
absolutely.
majority of these super fucking humans are black, because that's, at least in America, because that's how
Yeah.
we needed it to be.
What?
Mate forced it to be.
Yeah, or maybe, honestly, it could just come about, too, just because of the environment they're living in. I mean, you figure it's a very, like, work-intensive environment, so I imagine that...
Yeah, but
I mean, is physical fitness a gene that you can pass through to people? If you were very physically fit, can you pass that gene to your kid?
well, there's quick twitch muscle fibers.
Quick tits.
Yeah, quick tits. No, there's quick twitch muscle fibers, and then there's slow twitch. Slow twitch muscle fibers are like marathon runners, like endurance, stamina,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Whereas quick twitch is like speed, power, explosiveness. So if you can pass that stuff on, you can pass on muscle density, like fibers that rip easier and grow back stronger easier. So like,
Yeah.
at least when it comes to pure strength, like that and intelligence, like if your dad knows fucking basketball like really well, then you're gonna grow up in an environment where you're gonna fucking learn it just as good. But
Yeah.
that's more of a cultural thing than
Yeah. Like
than
nature versus nurture,
biological.
shit like
Yeah.
that. But I have to wonder, though, if you had people doing manual labor all the time, having a shit ton of kids, from what I imagine, like there's no birth control, and they weren't not having sex. Like, what else are you gonna do?
the slaves.
Yeah, you work all day, and then I don't know if they kept the men and women separate, but they kept them together. Like, why not? I mean, maybe you actually want to have kids.
Okay, wait. I have a think about it this way. If you have the gene pool to do all that horribly hard, laborious work all the time, and you're strong, and you can keep doing it. You're not getting like sick or anything. You can just keep pounding through it. Those people are gonna survive a lot longer than the ones that cramp up all the time. They're fucking injury prone.
Yeah.
They don't have the strength to do it all. So like, generally those guys fucking go away. Whereas the strong ones who keep doing it are always gonna be
Yeah.
there.
And I'm curious how long they give for these things to come about. Like how long they want to see like these trends. But I mean, American slavery went on for like at least a decade.
A decade?
Yeah.
That's 10 years.
Yeah. Am I being stupid right now?
Slavery in America went on for at least a decade. Try fucking from like the 1500s, or in the Americas, if you want to count from the time America was actually established, like its own place, it was less than 100 years. But if you count by the time people started like coming in, like Christopher Columbus, the Vikings, people like that, like it was about 400 years before slavery.
At least 10. 10 was my low guess.
So you're right. It was at least a decade.
At least a decade. See, I was only picturing it just during the Civil War. I guess that just was a weird way of thinking about it. Like
Civil War only lasted like 4 years. So there you're wrong again.
Fuck, it lasted at least 4 years. Maybe it was exactly.
You know what's
4.
funny too? Is that the Gettysburg Address, right? And the Emancipation Proclamation?
Yeah.
Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was not an abolitionist at all, and he didn't think blacks should have the same rights?
Yeah, I actually did hear about
Whites?
that. Yeah, just pretty
And
interesting.
the only reason the Emancipation Proclamation came about was because he was like, because the Emancipation Proclamation didn't free all the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even come close.
Yeah.
All it did was it freed slaves in the southern territories. It freed slaves in the Confederate States that either we captured and like we were there and it freed them, or it freed all the slaves in the Confederate. It was one of the two. And basically it was that way because, so you're
think you're
free
right.
now, come fight for us.
I think it was like, I guess you could say, liberated slaves from the South. I think they were free in the North, I suppose, or they were free to fight.
But
I think
northern
ideally,
slaves were not.
Well, I know for a fact that once the Civil War concluded, they didn't really force anyone to get rid of their slaves. I think they kind of worked towards it eventually as they rebuilt, but I don't think it was really an immediate process.
Well,
how could they possibly enforce that? There's
the
thousands of miles.
The 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment, basically.
True, but still, if you're in some plantation in the middle of nowhere in Georgia, who the fuck's going to go out there and check to see if you have slaves or not? I guarantee you.
No, that was
Slaves had to have still died
that was
in
the
captivity.
Reconstruction.
Yeah, Reconstruction.
That was when they sent Northern armies, like the Union Army, all around the South, basically forcing anybody to let the slaves go.
Were there any conflicts at all that happened after that? At that point, like, did the armies fight any militia groups or any like small?
I mean,
Plantation
I'm
owners
sure
and-
that they did, but at that point, like, so many people already died, and the North was obviously vastly overpowering towards them at this point.
Yeah.
That I think they were just like, okay, you won. Fuck it. Because I mean, still, what ended up happening was we freed them, but then they didn't know what else. Black people didn't know what else to do. They were like, okay, I'm not a slave, so now I have to get a job. I have to feed my kids. I have to buy a house. I have to buy land. I have to learn how to do all this shit. So basically, I think it was something like 70 to like 80% of slaves, like after they were freed, they stayed on the plantations and worked as tenant farmers. So it's basically like they went from being slaves to being
Just workers, I guess.
workers, which were basically treated like slaves.
I wonder how that would have felt to be like, hey, you're not a slave anymore. Okay, well, I need money. Okay, you want to work for me? Sure. Stop calling me slave, though. All right, whatever you want, slave. And it's like, no, stop calling me slave. Not what.
My name is Dwayne.
Okay, slave.
Okay, slave. Like, Dwayne, go out on the fucking field before I whip your wife again. Come on, fuck
You
off.
can't do that now. It's legal. Oh yeah. Wow, that's pretty bad. Anyway,
Who cares? It's a fucking joke.
on the podcast.
You're not racist, so I'm not gonna fucking take offense to it. Anybody, you should be able to joke about anything the fuck you want. You want to joke about rape? You want to joke about beating up slaves? You want to joke about literally anything? I don't care. It's a joke. Jokes aren't how somebody fucking feels. You know how many rape jokes I made in my entire life?
Probably 3,000.
At least 3. At least 3. You know how many people I've raped?
3,000.
At most.
Your cock would be very tired if you raped 3,000 people.
If I raped 3,000,
You would be a serial rapist, and not like
I haven't even.
Captain Crunch rapist. You'd be an actual.
That'd be like. It would be like 3,000 people if I raped one person a day since I was like 9 years old.
9 years old. You wake up one morning, you're just like,
all right, starting the spree. Let's
this
go.
is my life's fucking work.
This is this is my design.
You just walk out there, have a sign that just says "free rape."
People are like, "Is it really free though? There's no taxes.
There's
involved?"
always a cost.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever free.
That's true. Nothing is ever free, Bernie. You fucking idiot.
You walk in there, and they're like, "All right, let's do this." And they're like, "I knew it wasn't free. You're actually gonna rape me. That's the cost. I get it now. That's the cost of this."
It's gonna cost you your anal virginity.
Which can come back
Yeah, I mean, it will.
over time.
It'll tighten up.
Yeah,
throughout the
it'll
years.
tighten over time.
You'll start shitting like normally again.
Yeah, yeah.
After at least
You
a
could fart
decade.
again.
Yeah.
You'll actually.
Fart without making whistling noises.
And I passed gas. But no, it's actually a good point though when it comes to slavery. Back to slavery, I guess. Why not? Let's just go from slavery to rape back to slavery again.
Hey,
That,
sometimes you don't even need to go back in between them
Sometimes they combine together into one thing.
to form the ultimate combo, the dynamic duo of 1840s America.
Yeah, Jeffrey, the plantation owner, he's like, I love rape and slaves, so why pick one or the other? I'll just have them both. I mean, they both came
So
on.
you're telling me I can either rape someone or have a slave? Yeah.
I'm just gonna rape
Can
my
I,
slaves.
Yeah, can I rape my slaves?
Oh, I guess
Oh,
no one ever
fuck,
considered
I
that.
never thought of that.
Wait, you
I think
can't
that
do
guy
that.
is like the most popular guy in
Probably.
Georgia.
He walks around like, guys, I just raped a slave last night. They're like, what? Why would you do that? Come
They
on,
look at him,
man.
they
Those
go-
are people.
They go, buy this guy a beer. Everyone get him a
Like, wait a
beer.
second.
That's a great idea.
They all
I
just
just play
go home.
Monopoly with him and tell him to make me an apple.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he made me apple pie last night. I didn't think anything of it, but I guess I could do this other thing.
I
too.
never would have thought to rape him. That-
Wow. It's like, God, I mean, it's genius. Though. Like, I already raped my wife as it is. So, I mean, I'll just transfer that over and
You know
then
what's
maybe
funny?
show up some more time.
Is that like more men are raped than women in the world?
Yeah, no, it's
That's
true.
you know, at least in America. Isn't that fucking
Yeah.
weird? Granted, it's all in prison, and it's men raping other men,
Yeah.
but men are still getting raped at a higher levels, and women going around victimizing themselves with sexual abuse and stuff. That's sexist because more men are raped than women.
Yeah, it's true. No, that actually is sexist. It's kind of crazy to think about that.
Think about it. You don't see fucking feminists who whips out her titties to protest rape culture. You don't see her standing outside a fucking prison going, "Stop rape! Rape must go! No rape culture!" Oh,
Yeah.
why do they care? It's men getting raped. They don't
Yeah,
give a fuck.
whatever. Men can handle it. We're tough.
No, fucking sphincter hole.
If I was, if a large black man picked me up in prison, put me on the ground, and raped me, that would be a terrible experience. Like, without a doubt, that'd be an awful experience.
Would it really be that bad though?
Yes, it would be terrible.
What if you like it?
I don't want to start questioning that right now. I've thought about it, and
And you came to no conclusion?
no conclusion. And that's the part that scares me. I couldn't just definitively say I wouldn't like it. I have to say, I guess I'll never know.
Hopefully you'll never know. Or hopefully if you like it, then you will know.
Yeah, hopefully it won't happen in prison. Hopefully it'll happen at some frat party when I'm 35 and trying to rediscover my youth again. I'm at frat
That's
parties.
the problem with anal pleasures.
Mhm.
Is that the G-spot is in my asshole. My asshole has the G-spot. And that's the best
I'm so
feeling
sorry.
in the world.
You'll never experience that.
That's the thing, though, is that I know that if somebody rubbed it, it would feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that I don't want it to feel good. I want it to be horrible. And so that way I'd never do it again. Because if I like something, I'm just going to keep doing it. So if somebody does finger my asshole, and I like it, then what do I do? Where do I go from there?
Question: if a woman is fingering your asshole, you're a straight man.
Bro, I mean, I guess.
I think you are.
But what if a woman puts on a strap on and fucks you in the ass?
You're still straight man. You know why? Because a woman's fucking you in the ass, not a guy. It could be a guy with a strap on. I think it's still...
Alright, but I mean, some things are gay even if women are doing it, right?
What do you mean? Give me an example. We're going to discover sexuality right here, right now.
Fuck, I don't know.
Now,
I have no idea.
Huh. It's okay to feel a certain
Okay.
way. Okay.
Say you're
All right.
fucking your wife, but you were imagining it was a man.
Okay, yeah, well
Is
then...
that gay?
Yeah.
But it's still a woman.
Yeah, but you're mentally... You're in a different state of mind mentally, though. You're
But if you're
picturing...
having a strap-on shoved up your ass, you think that's a woman's cock right there. That's a
But
female
is
dick.
is she fucking you like you're a woman though?
I mean, how is she gonna fuck you like you're a man? Men don't get.
Up your ass?
That's how it would be. She's not gonna shove it in your fucking urethra. I mean, she could. I've seen video on that. It was scary.
Wow, really?
I only had a boner for about 10 seconds, and that was after the money shot.
It's probably more than the average man would. You're very
Well,
exploratory.
I was hard.
Okay. I'm happy to know that. God, I don't know. See, these are the real questions. I don't care about what gender people are. This is the real question.
Yeah, this is.
Are
if
you-
when we
are you
figure
gay?
this out? We'll figure out gender.
Are you
But we have
gay?
to figure out the important stuff first.
If-
Who cares if they're comfortable in their own bodies? I want to know if I'm gay or not.
It's all about me, and if I'm gay, I'm some kind of gay.
Yeah. What do I look like, a faggot?
Yeah. No, I
Well,
don't really know. What?
Okay.
Okay.
Say you're jerking off to a woman fucking a man in the ass. Is that
Wow.
gay?
I've seen that before, but I was not aroused at all. It turned me off.
I see in like pop-ups, and then I
Well, because
click a new video.
it was
That's the problem with fake taxis. Is that I'm sure they're great videos, but every time I'm watching it and the girl starts eating the dude's ass, I can't do it. I have to fucking pick a new video.
that happens. I watched Fake Taxi a few
That
times.
happens all the time.
Really?
Every fake taxi video I've ever watched, a guy's getting his asshole licked.
You have bad luck then.
Well, what do? Do you skip forward in the video, or do you
Usually
watch
I
it all
s-
the way through?
Okay, usually I just skip forward a little bit. Okay, cause see,
There you go.
My favorite
Because it
position.
always happens in the beginning.
Favorite position though is missionary.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing those titties bounce around,
Wait, are you saying you doing it or watching it?
watching it.
Oh, see, regularly doing it. That's my
Well, I guess doing it, but it's been so long now that I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know, whatever. But I would say that like actually watching it, because for me, I'm not really that turned on by just looking at like the back and the ass.
Oh, I am. But I think missionary's better.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I think it's just more. I don't know. You can,
it's more personal,
there's
right?
more, yeah. Well, there's that, and you can do more stuff.
Yeah.
You can throw the legs up on your shoulders, leave them down. You can lean back. You can lean forward.
Lean back
You
and
can choke.
take a drag off
You
your
can
cigarette.
pull air. You can do anything. You can fucking slap them.
Wait, pull hair from the front?
Yeah.
Am I getting this wrong?
What you do
Wait,
is
am I fucking this up?
you grab like the top of their head,
Yeah.
and then you yank it back.
Into your
So like,
chest.
no. So like they're laying down.
Hold
right?
on,
You're
I
top
think
of them.
I think I'm fucking this up right now. I think I'm being a real
So
a
you're
real
laying
nerd.
you're laying down like this,
Oh god damn
right?
it! I thought that was cowgirl.
and then what?
I thought that was cowgirl.
Cowgirl's when the girl's riding you.
Yeah. So why are you laying down?
I'm saying I'm the girl.
Oh, you're the girl.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
girl's laying down
All
on her
right.
back, right, and you're on top. What you do is,
Okay.
you know how you can like grab their face like this.
Yeah, very
You
lovingly,
move up-
just kind
yeah,
of
you
like.
grab like the crown, like their head, like you grab the hair,
Okay.
and then you pull it towards the bed, right?
All
So you
right.
pull it towards the bed, their head cocks back like this.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you can like kiss or like bite their neck and stuff while you're doing it. You get the whole fucking
Wow. The whole package.
the whole package. They get
Man.
the package, but you get the bundle.
They could get the package if you wanted to, in your ass.
Yeah, but I don't want to is the thing.
Okay.
Or I don't know if I want to or not.
That's,
I know that
this,
I don't.
This is the real question.
I know that I don't want to. I just don't know how, if it did happen, how I
Yeah.
could react.
Here's what you do. You tell your partner that, all right, you have a year from this moment to fuck me in the ass without me knowing it, or at least not being aware it's going to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Just make it random. Every time you have sex, you never know when it's going to be coming up. Then one day, you just feel something slip in. You never expected it, and all of a sudden, then
But
you
think
can,
about
then you
how-
can gauge your
Think
response.
about how tight the asshole is.
Yeah.
That it doesn't just fly in like fucking like butter on toast, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna take a minute, and you're gonna know it's there. And then As soon as it happens, you're gonna get a nervous response, and you're gonna freak out, and you're gonna like snap their finger off.
Yeah.
So you have to know that it's coming.
But then you're gonna kind of like, you might tighten it even more if you know it's coming. You might kind of like, because me thinking about a thing of my ass made me just kind of like,
Yeah, like I'm clenching right now.
yeah, I really did clench. I felt my sphincter just slurp right in.
Slurped in.
I don't know why.
Sucked in a little bit of the
Sucked
cheek
in.
as an extra shield.
It did actually. The whole thing just kind of caved in like on itself, like a little clam or something.
Like an oyster.
Like an oyster, sure.
I'm glad we're talking about the real issues now.
This is the real issue.
This is real life applicable right here. This isn't like calculus.
There could be somebody questioning their
Their
sexuality,
Mhm.
their gender,
We're
even.
helping them.
Do you think you're a man? Do you think you're a woman? Do you think that you're none of the above? Call this number now. 1-800 got.
Okay. You're a biological man who thinks you're a woman, and you got the surgery. And you're dating a biological woman who thinks it's a man who got the surgery.
Oh my god, I'm already.
And they're using their fake dick to fuck your fake vagina. Are you straight?
Oh my god. I have no idea what to even say to this. I don't even know what to say.
Okay.
All right, let me just
We'll put it
take
this
some more
way.
time.
You're a man,
Okay.
regular, cisgender man, and you're
Cisgender.
dating a man who thinks it's a woman, and they got the surgery.
Yeah,
But you know that it's a woman,
yeah.
but they have a vagina,
Okay.
and you fuck their vagina. Are you gay or straight?
All right, I think we're gonna have different opinions on this. This could be.
I think it's gay.
I think that it's straight. I think it's straight because I think it's a mentality thing. I think that if they think they're a woman and you also are like, yes, they're a woman, I think it's straight.
What if you're, like, unsure? Like, I don't know if this is a man or a woman.
I think if you're unsure,
just
you
fly.
probably shouldn't be in that situation at all. You probably should just get out. Like,
You probably just get on a bus and go
Yeah.
back home. For
I don't
a
know
week
why
and talk
you're
to your
there.
dad.
Just go home and talk to your dad. He'll set you straight, literally.
Beat the shit out of
Beat the
you.
shit out of you. And then just play some Fortnite and just chill out.
No,
you know?
you can't chill out playing Fortnite. You're gonna fucking rage.
That's true. Maybe you need that to get all of your energy
That's
out.
true.
Your dad will beat you up, and then you can't fight back against him because he's your dad. You're not gonna fight your dad. And
Okay.
Then,
You're a woman. You're dating a man who believes it's a woman, and she puts on a strap on and fucks you.
women who have sex with strap-ons who are lesbians or whatever never makes any sense to me. Why do they want penetration? That's literally penetration straight. Why would two lesbians want to fuck each other with the strap-on? Makes no
Gay
sense.
guys fuck each other in the ass. That's penetration.
Okay. But that's because men penetrate.
I think this is the problem.
Men.
I think gay is fucking men, and women is fucking women, right? And
But penetration happens between two men, though. So I guess in a way, like, I know it's through the ass, but I'm not.
fuck, I didn't know where I was going with that, but this is what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Women, just because they're attracted to women, doesn't mean they don't want stuff inside them,
Okay.
right? Because
Yeah,
that's
all
where
right,
it feels
all right.
good. Like,
Yeah,
even
all right,
if
fair
a girl
enough.
fingers another girl, you can't say,
That's you know what? All right, fair enough,
penetration.
man. Fair
That's
enough.
straight.
Fair enough. We're capable of change here.
Yeah, we can change our minds a
All
little
right.
bit.
Change my mind.
Crowder, if Crowder knew that this was our change my mind, he'd be a little offended. He'd be pretty
would?
mad. You think so? Talk about trainee sex for 20 minutes or
No,
however long
but
it's been?
we're actually we're having a conversation about it, though. We're not just both two progressives here. Like, oh, they should do whatever they want. This is completely, we're
Well,
at
they
least.
should do whatever they want. I'm just not going to agree with it. You know what I mean? That's my stance on these things. I don't think you should cut your cock off and run around as a girl. But I don't. If you really want to do it, who am I to tell you no?
Here's a weird thing that it's actually a good question. I never understood this about gay. Not like people because it's specific, but just kind of like the idea of a species having like gay species is that unless they remove themselves from their sexual preference, reproduction is never going to happen between two gay people.
Mm-hmm.
So reproduction, the idea of gayness, I don't know how to say that, in species, it seems like it's It's anti-reproductive in a sense. I mean,
Oh no, it absolutely is.
why? So why do we have it then? Why? I don't really know exactly why there are gay humans. Doesn't
Could
make
be
any
like
sense.
a recessive gene, or like I don't know.
I mean, they're still capable of having like gay men still produce semen.
It could be nature versus nurture. That could definitely be it. But I'm one of those people that believe that, like, if you're gay, you're gay.
No, I definitely think that you're born gay.
Like, you can't
You're
just
not
say, "Oh,
born
I'm straight now."
Yeah, I don't think that's true at all. So I think that like people who are gay are born gay, and they are gay, but it just doesn't make any sense to me in terms of the
Like how that gets
continuation of
passed
our
on.
society. If anything, now I actually be curious to see the rates.
Well,
of,
some men like don't come out and they fuck women, have kids and stuff.
yeah,
But
because it's all sexual preference. Like they're attracted to other women, but they can still have kids. Like plenty of lesbians get inseminated and they have kids
that's
like,
true.
naturally. So I mean, it's just it's like a weird disconnect because like for you and me, like we are attracted to women. We want to fuck women, get them pregnant, and then have kids. That's pretty much wired in us. But if you're gay, though, you still have that sexual desire, but it's just with the opposite species or opposite sex of what we would be doing. But you're not going to further the generation. So I'm curious, what are the rates of homosexuals now to like we're talking
Versus however long
way
ago.
fucking back,
Well,
pre
in
Christ or whatever.
Rome, bisexuality, like if you weren't bisexual, then you were weird.
Oh wow.
I think.
No,
read
that actually
somewhere.
makes sense.
I could be wrong.
Didn't a lot of those Roman or Greek guys
Like
they fucked a
bathhouses
lot
and
of
stuff.
men, right? Didn't they just go
Yeah,
to the bathhouse and just have sex all the time?
I think so. Yeah, they had big orgies and shit, and they just fuck anybody who moves.
The Socrates probably.
Socrates sucked at least one cock.
Yeah, for sure.
Plato, he's a bear. Plato was a bear. Socrates is probably a twink. Maybe a twonk.
A twonk. You're not a big Socrates fan, are you? You love Plato.
I only like Socrates because of Bill and Ted.
Oh
All
yeah.
we are is dust
Socrates.
in the wind, dude. What? Dust? Wind. Dude. Well, I used to watch the movie all the time when I was like 6 or 7, and I fucking loved it. I rewatched it again about probably 8 months to a year ago, and I don't know if I've laughed that hard.
It still holds
rewatching
up
a
after
movie.
watching it again?
Well, because there's so much dumb shit that, like, when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, like, that makes sense. But now that we're older, like, you just realize how fucking retarded it is. And
Yeah.
dude, oh my god, you have to, how long has it been since you watched that movie?
A long time.
You have to rewatch it. Dude.
All right.
It's hysterical, dude. It gets better as time goes on.
Did you watch the first one or
Yeah,
the
I'm
second
talking about
one?
the first one.
Okay.
I watched like half an hour. The second one I didn't care for it at all.
They are making a third one.
Are they actually making it though, or are they still talking about making
I think they actually are going to be making it. I think that
Oh.
Keanu and what's his name actually decided to do
it?
it.
Alex Winters?
Yeah, whatever. I don't even know his name.
Well, George Carlin can't be in it, and George Carlin. I mean, granted, he didn't play a huge role, but
Wait,
it's still fucking George Carlin.
What role did he play in?
George
the
Carlin
first?
was the guy in the phone booth.
Oh, okay. He's like the G-man in the movie, I guess.
Yeah. George Carlin was. He just. Fucking when you watch him on stand-ups and shit, he looks like 70. But in that movie, he was like fucking like. He was like 50 or so. He looked good for his age. He looks a lot different then than he does when he like recorded It's Bad For You and stuff.
Yeah. This is all going to be on the recording too. My cat just freaking out.
Can't you just like lock her out?
She's sweet though. She just wants attention. I don't know. Create a monster. Nah, I'll go back and watch it actually. That sounds pretty good.
Oh, it's great.
It's been a while. I know a couple of things I don't know if I can get back into is like I used to love watching Dumb and Dumber as a kid. I don't know if I can get back into that again as an adult. Like I don't know.
Dude, you have to.
But it just seems like it's just kind of goofy, like just stupid
That's
stuff.
what makes it so good.
But you think it's too goofy? Like it's just like
Well, when you're a kid, you like watching goofy shit because you are goofy,
Yeah.
right? When you're an adult, you realize how preposterous everything that they're doing is. And then it's just that much funnier because when you're a kid, like, when he's like, we landed on the moon! You just start laughing because, like, he's running around laughing about how he landed on the moon. But then you watch it now and you're like, he lived his entire life not realizing that we fucking landed on the moon. He sees this
Oh,
little piece
yeah.
of paper, now he's freaking the fuck out. Then he's like, our pets' heads are falling off! Like, It's just fucking. It's so funny, man.
But see, like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of like Ace Ventura stuff, like that kind of humor. I'm not a big fan of it.
You don't like Ace Ventura?
Just like, I've only seen clips of it, and I know of like Jim Carrey's like comedy
you
style.
have to watch, dude.
But it's just like
it's one of the funniest movies ever
But
made.
I'm just not a big fan of like that kind of, I don't know, just like goofy shit like that. Like, even though I'm fucking dumb, but it's just, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of watching that kind of stuff though.
Well, goofy movies back then, like really dumb comedies, were a lot funnier than they are now.
I can see that.
Which is like think about a movie like Dumb and Dumber versus a movie like fucking like Daddy's Home. Like, it's kind of funny, yeah, but it's nowhere near as funny as like just back when it was at its peak of just stupid dumb humor. Now it's more into like you want to watch smart humor movies. Like Game Night was pretty like smart black humor kind of, and it was hysterical.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Like, my favorite movies are like, I like a lot of dark comedies.
And like Superbad was, I mean, it wasn't the most intelligent of movies, but it wasn't like a dumb comedy. Like, it actually had like, it was a decently intelligent movie, and it's the best comedy ever made.
I love Superbad. I love a lot of what Judd Apatow does, because Judd Apatow is very much like, we're gonna make things that they're not trying to like go for punchlines and shit. They're just trying to, they do sometimes, but they're just trying to give you a story that's just kind of funny. Because for me, I like real life comedy, like comedies about real life, things that.
No, I completely get that.
Like, I think it's for me why I can't get into like a lot of Jim Carrey stuff, because a lot of Jim Carrey stuff, it's kind of like fantastical. It's like, it's not really real life. He's playing like a character, and I think it's fine. Like, I could watch it and be entertained, but I won't find it as funny as I will Superbad. But I'll still think it's a good movie. Like, I could watch Ace Ventura and still enjoy it. Like, honestly, I love Yes Man a lot. I think Yes Man's really good. I really enjoy that movie. It's got good humor. The humor's not like crazy. It's just like, it's mostly pretty subtle, and I think it's funny.
Jim Carrey's insane now, dude. Have you seen the shit that's been going on with him?
I saw an episode of him, what's his name? Jerry Seinfeld's show, The Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. I saw that episode. He went to his house.
Dude.
His house is fucking crazy. He's got
losing it.
Paintings all over the place of just really weird shit. Like, crazy shit.
He did this thing of, like, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You know who she is, right? The Secretary of Communication or whatever. Communications Director for the White House. Like, he paints her as, like, this fucking, like, monster. He's like, monsters in the White House. Satanic worshippers in the White House. Like, fucking, like... He went on, they interviewed him on the red carpet for some big event.
Yeah.
And he went into this giant conspiracy theory. It is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. What are you looking up?
Jim Carrey, like, now. Just someone,
Jim Carrey craziness. He has a fucking, like, he looks like a mountain man, dude. His beard goes down to his balls. It's...
Alright, here's and this is a picture of him, I guess. This is probably pretty
Dude,
close.
yeah, I mean... Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up for you. This fucking video of him doing his conspiracy. What the hell? Oh, is that Childish Gambino?
I was watching PewDiePie earlier.
Oh, I don't like guys who play video games that much. Like, I watch a few YouTubers that play video games, like Angry Joe, but I don't watch his Let's Plays. I watch his video game reviews and shit like that. PewDiePie, I always hated PewDiePie, but the shit he does now, like
his meme stuff, his meme review stuff.
Oh
and all that.
my god, his meme reviews is fucking like.
He's really funny.
His reaction videos, like his social commentary, is hysterical.
Well,
Like, I wish I would watch him more.
Yeah, honestly, like all he does now is just like he did a gaming Let's Play recently. It wasn't really very popular. It didn't really do very well. I think because most people tune in now to watch him just be weird, because he's got a very weird way of saying things. Because I think it's his accent, and he just has a character he plays now where he just says things weird. And his meme reviews are really funny though, and I actually been watching him every day now recently. He had a whole episode. He talked about the Marvel memes with like the going away, the Thanos ones, like, you know, the snapping the finger ones, and it's just, I don't know, he's just very entertaining. He actually had a whole episode he talked about
okay. Listen to this.
Interviews, that is for sure. But Jim Carrey is setting the internet into a spin this morning. The actor attended an Icons party for New York Fashion Week, and the reporter was left gobsmacked by his antics. It does really need to be seen to be believed. Here it is in its cringeworthy entirety.
Hey, Jim Carrey. Yes?
What?
I've covered a lot of fashion weeks. This is the first time I've run into Jim Carrey. Wait, tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join. And here I am.
That's funny.
I mean, you gotta admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside. Do you
Celebrating
believe in
icons, boy,
icons?
that is just the absolute lowest aiming possibility
Oh my
that
God.
we could come up with. It's like icons. What do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Shut it down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And, I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I
Was
didn't
that an
get dressed
accident?
up. I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not here. This is a dream.
It's just things happening.
Dude, what the fuck? I haven't
Wow.
watched that yet. I just heard about it. What
Holy
the fuck,
shit.
man? I thought it was like some conspiracy. I mean, it was kind of conspiracy shit, but
Wow.
dude, what the fuck? That girl was so fucking confused.
She felt so. It looks like she was so uncomfortable.
She thought in her job description was, "I'm going to interview Jim Carrey today."
She's like,
and it's
"Sweet."
going to be hilarious. And it said she's sitting there. He's doing circles around her for
Yeah,
the
I
first
know.
45 seconds. And then she's
fuck?
like, "You look dressed up." There is no me. I'm not dressed up. Things are just happening. We have to look deeper than icons, than Superman. She was like, all right.
The whole time, she's literally just leaning back at us the entire time. She's like, doesn't even want to
she's
be
like,
close to him.
Please just step a foot back with every word that you speak. Just get as far away from me as humanly possible.
I really think-
and I still think that was fucking hilarious.
That was
And what's
hilarious.
funny is that like it's not funny like what he was saying. It's funny how genuine like he truly believed it, and like all of these people are there to celebrate themselves,
Yeah.
and he's just absolutely shitting on every single one.
Yeah,
of
I
them. They're like,
know.
oh, here we are to celebrate ourselves. Isn't that awesome? And she's like, but you're dressed up. He's like, there's no me. I'm not dressed up.
Honestly, I really can't tell if he's being serious or
No,
not. There,
he's being.
I
You can tell he's serious by his eyes and his tone of voice. Like if he was joking, he would have been a little bit more like sporadic. Like when he was
Okay.
like even the point where he's like like that, you could tell like he was literally just trying to make her sound stupid.
But I think he's just being really cynical. He definitely thinks he's being very cynical about the whole
Yeah,
thing.
but you can't fake cynicism like that.
No. That's what I mean. I think that he was being genuinely cynical. Like he really hated all of that. Like he's just saying, he's like, I'm just wandering around. I happened to stumble into this thing. Just like, I don't know.
The genius behind that is that he showed up at this random place, had no idea what was going to happen, had no idea he was going to be interviewed. He just showed up just to make like a mockery of it. And then this girl interviews him. And that was the first thing that came to his mind, was to just dump on it completely for everybody to see.
That's
at
true.
These people like had him there, and then he showed up just to make them look like fucking idiots.
It wouldn't have been that hard for him just to say like, yeah, I'm here, just do whatever, and then just walk away.
That's... I don't know if I respect that a lot or if I would fucking get as far away from it as humanly possible. I think I respect it a little bit more.
I honestly respect it maybe 70%. 30% of me is like, he probably could have just been like, yeah, we're here, whatever. But I actually kind of like what he did because, like, I don't really...
Honestly, he's right, too. About
Yeah,
it.
he is right.
These people are really here just to act like they're the best people in the world.
Yeah.
He's like, look at these fucking jokes.
Like, you're an icon because you wear a dress that shows off your thick thighs or whatever. Like, you're not really an icon for that. You're just wearing a dress that makes you look sexy. It doesn't really mean you're a good person. Like, Jim Carrey's not a better person for wearing a suit like that.
it's just him.
Just him. And I think it's his point. Like, honestly, he's kind of a genius, and I think he is a genius because his art is fucking crazy, and, like, the things he says are crazy, but only a genius could say shit like that, though, and have a mind that can consider things like that. He's crazy.
What I
but
was interested in was his solipsist point of view.
His solipsist point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, go
You know
on.
what that is?
I have no idea.
Solipsism is the theory that everything that happens is processed through my brain.
Okay, I
Right?
like where this is going already.
Everything that happens is processed through my brain. Everything I see, hear, touch, whatever. And I can control what I do. And I can touch you, I can kick you, I can do whatever. I kick you. How do I know that I kicked you?
Response.
I processed it through my body. My brain told me that I kicked you.
Yeah.
How do I know you're real?
Your brain's telling you I'm real. Because I'm here, because, you know...
But how do I actually know if you're there? And you're not my brain. How do I know I'm not the only person in the world? Because I'm the only person... I can't see out of your eyes. I can't see through your brain. I can't do any of the things for you that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
I have no... All I can actually know is that I'm here. And that I'm real. I don't know if this chair's real. I don't know if this fucking all-purpose cleaner's real. I don't even know if this fucking thing's real. All I know is that I'm real, and everything else around me could be a manifestation of my brain. So solipsists believe that there's nothing else. It's just them. The moment I was born was the first thing that happened. The moment I die, there's nothing after that.
Jesus. I think the idea is interesting, but that seems a little bit
Think
extreme.
about it this way. How do you know that the world didn't start 3 seconds ago and everything before that just popped into your head and you're here now? How do you know?
There's no way to prove or disprove that, so it could be real.
All you can prove is that you're real.
All I can prove right now is that we're in this timeline, in this reality right now.
You can't even prove that. All you can prove is that you're here. And wherever here is, you don't know. All you know is that you are...
Yeah. So I like that
So,
idea.
like, honestly, I am a solipsist. Like, I believe that in whatever way, shape, or form, I'm the only person that exists, and you're, like, a manifestation of my subconscious. So that way, like, just... I don't realize it's just me.
Is there an idea that you could be... You couldn't possibly be a manifestation of your own conscious, because that would be a paradox, right? I mean, you
What do
really...
you mean?
Like,
How?
could you be a manifestation of your own conscience? Could your conscience not actually exist physically, and you're just being projected physically right here? To put
No,
your brain into
because my
space?
consciousness is what I'm doing right now.
So then, how can there be multiple people who all have worlds built around them existing in the same world, though? So how could I be existing within myself, you're existing within yourself, but we are both separately existing?
You know how? Because you're not existing within yourself. Only I exist. And my brain
That seems
is
like...
telling me that what I am, you're the same thing, basically. But I don't know that. I'll never be able to. I'll never actually be able to know if anything was real. All I know is that I am. So, like, the fact that you say, like, yeah, but there's all these other people that have, like, same brain, like, have brains, too, and that they all have their own worlds and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know that. All I know is that I'm here.
So the idea of that's a very, like, egocentric idea, where it's like you are the one with which your entire understanding of the world is around yourself. It is around yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not possible for other people to also have worlds existing around them because everything is kind of within your world. No, but if I'm a solipsist, though, can I see the world around me, and then you're my position then, if it were to focus on me instead?
If you were real. But no, that wouldn't work for me because I know that I'm real. So,
but if you know
you can't be right because I am me and I know everything that's going on around me. I have my own brain, I have my own conscience. I can say whatever I want, I can do whatever I want, blah blah blah. So you can't. That can't be true for you. It can only be true for me.
That seems kind of dangerous, though, in a way. You can justify anything, really, then, with that mindset.
What do you mean?
If you're the person...
Have you ever heard of the Matrix defense?
Yeah. Well, in a way.
The girl that murdered her husband.
Oh, not
and
that
then
specifically, no.
She was in court, and they asked her, why'd you do it? Did you do it? Whatever happened? She said, yeah, I did it. They said, why'd you do it? She said, because nothing's real. We're in the Matrix. No matter what we do, nothing matters.
That's kind of what I'm saying, though.
And then she was innocent. Because of insanity, they said. But how do we know she's fucking insane? How do we know that we're not all in the Matrix and that her killing her husband literally meant absolutely nothing?
We don't. But are we... It's a cool idea. I like the idea of it.
I firmly believe in that. I firmly believe that because I can't tell that you're actually real, like, I'm the only one that I can tell. So I mean, given all my information, all I can genuinely say is that I am. And
Well, here's
I
the
can't tell
thing:
if everybody else
is I think that just like someone who's a drug addict who then gets behind a car and then kills somebody by driving, I think that like your point of view is totally cool. I think it's great that you have that. I think if you justify that, use that point of view to justify murder or justify theft or whatever, breaking the law. I mean, I think that there are laws set around you that are above yourself. Even if you do think that you are the center of those laws, that I think that there are things above you that you can't really change.
Yeah, but in my brain, because I'm the only one that exists, I establish those laws for myself.
But how can
Like,
you...
there's no constitution if I wasn't around.
But how can you prove that, though? Like, you can't disprove
can't-
it, so...
You can't prove it, but you cannot disprove it.
Well, this kind of sounds like religion to me, in a way. Like,
What do you
believing in God. Well, you really can't prove or disprove the idea of God. Therefore, you can't create a logical argument against God because there's really no way to make an argument against God. It's a figure that may or may not exist, and I can't form an argument to say God is not real. Just like I can't make an argument that your point of view is incorrect because I don't think it is. I just don't really have a way to prove or disprove it. Therefore, I wouldn't want my point of view...
This is how you would disprove
Well, here,
it.
therefore, I wouldn't want my point of view to impact the world around me because if I can't prove it, then I'm not going
Oh,
to
well,
allow
I'm
it.
not saying I'm going to go out and kill people. Just
Yeah,
because
no, I know
my
you're not,
fans do
'cause-
sweet tarts? Or are these like your special stash?
I don't know, man.
Those are yours.
You know
I'll let
what?
you have 'em.
Let's open them up. How about want to?
Sounds good to me.
I fucking love these, actually. They're
Those are so
delicious.
fucking good. That's a big pack.
$2
You get those from...
at Walmart for $2.
I was to say, you must have got those from somewhere else.
Yeah. There you go, man. These are really good.
But anyway, so...
Yeah, no,
Let me put it this
I know
way.
you're not going to do that because you're a moral person. You're not going to just go kill people.
Is that if what you're saying is correct, and that you have a consciousness, you are real, then I'm wrong, right? But I can never tell if you're right or if you're wrong. Same ways you can't tell if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
All right.
And
You're
think about it this way.
Okay.
If your brain can construct all of this just to keep you from losing it and knowing there's absolutely nothing around you, wait, what did I just say?
That,
Oh, okay. I know what I was
yeah,
gonna say.
I mean, I know what you're saying. I just can't really put it into words right now.
Say there was nothing, right?
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't be. But because I am, as a solipsist, like I believe that everything was created in my own head for my own interpretation, right? The fact that you're saying, no, that can't be true because I'm here, right? Why would my brain tell me any different if it wants me to be generally restrained?
Well, I think...
Like, if my brain created all this shit to help me deal with the reality that is, there's just me, the second somebody in my head would say, oh, no, you're right. I'm not real. Only you are real. Then it's all for...
You're right.
it's all
No,
moot.
it's not as realistic then. I think what the point of view does, though, is that just like... I bring up religion because it seems like it's a similar idea. Not exact, but it seems like that there is a similar concept.
Really close.
Is that I think that you are creating a scenario where you almost really can't be wrong, because if everything around you is all being created and continue to reaffirm your belief of the world around you, then you can never be wrong in the situation, because you're always creating a situation where you're basically the overmind of your own world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad at all to have that, but it definitely means that I think it's hard to kind of like it's hard for me to say anything about against what you're saying, because you could always rest on the idea that I'm only saying that because you need ways to help us reestablish and to continually establish your central idea. It's not a bad thing, but it definitely means that it's kind of hard to have a conversation about it. If someone's kind of contrarian, because they really can't say like,
Make
here's
you
the difference.
think differently, yeah.
Well, I don't want you to think differently. I think it's great, but it definitely is hard to kind of discuss that point in a way, because then and I'm just speaking more about in religion in general too, how you really can't speak against ideas of things that are above or acting around us, because they're just things.
Well, that's
that
the same thing
that
like
happen.
fuck, what was I gonna say? Shit, I keep forgetting what I'm gonna say on this fucking point. God.
But I think it's awesome, and actually, I like what you're saying a lot because for me, I don't see the world like that, but I do see things in terms of we all have brains, we all have optic nerves, we all have prefrontal cortexes and all kinds of medullas, whatever the fuck. And so the way that I'm seeing the world right now probably isn't the way you're seeing the world. It's probably subtle.
That's
colors.
that's what I was thinking of.
Colors,
There's a Vsauce
images.
video. So say everybody else is real, right?
Yeah.
There's this Vsauce video.
Love Vsauce
It's
too.
how do I
Great
know
channel.
like what would you say this color is?
Red.
I'd say it's red too.
Yeah.
How do I know my red isn't your blue?
We have no idea. All we do is because we both
And your
said
blue
it's
is
red.
my red, so we both say it's
Well,
red.
but if we're both agreeing this is red, though, then you and I can at least conclude that this is a red cap.
True, but say what my red is what your blue looks like, and what your blue is what my red looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But so I would call your red blue, and you would call my red red.
Yeah.
I mean my red blue. But you see that, and you see what I would call blue, but I see it as red. So you would still call it red.
We both be calling it red. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah. We both be said, but that could
Same
be a
with
different color for you.
doctors. There's this really weird thing in medicine is that doctors don't know what pain is. All they know is everybody feels pain.
Mm-hmm.
There's no scientific inquiry as to what pain is and how everyone feels it. So like somebody punches me in the knee, side of the knee as hard as I can. How do I know that would feel the same as if somebody did the exact same thing to you?
That's a great question.
Where I feel like a pop and like agony, you could feel like needles and pricking. And you'd be like, this is like a 10 out of 10 pain. I'd say, this is a 10 out of 10 pain too.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, how does it feel? And I would say that, and you'd be like, oh, this feels completely different to me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. No, you're right.
But like, we don't
Yeah.
have the words to describe like what it
You try to
actually
say
is.
like throbbing, sharp, burning, whatever. But you're right though. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for any of us. That's why the episode of Black Mirror with the doctor who makes that one machine that can be put on people's brains and you can like link up with it and feel their pain. Episode, I think it's Black Museum, the last episode of
Haven't
season
seen
4.
it. Haven't seen it.
It's kind of like a vignette episode. There's a couple of
There's,
short
like,
little.
4. It's
Yeah.
an anthology.
One of them is a doctor who he works with this guy, who actually is the guy who runs the Black Museum. It's a whole plot. But anyway, he gives him this device. You put on a patient's head. You put one on two. You could feel what they feel exactly. The doctor eventually becomes a sadist because he actually likes the feeling of pain because he loses. He gets more sensation when he's connected to a patient than when he is not disconnected. So he actually begins to like find people on the side of the road who have gotten injured and just puts the thing on and like gets off to it. It's actually kind of cool. Anyway, though, but we don't have a device at all. So you're right, though. Pain. That's why I don't even see why you go to a doctor and
even
they
if
ask
we
you to
did
describe
have,
pain.
even if we did have that device, right? Your brain is what everything runs through.
It's true.
So
Yeah, you're
how
right.
do I know that you're feeling the same thing? Because it's all registered through my brain. My brain could process it differently,
That's
making
true,
me
yeah.
think, "Oh, this is exactly what they're feeling," when really it's not at all.
Well, here's a good question to go along with what you're talking about. What was what was the name of your thing again? The
Solipsism.
solipsism? Is that with a P or just an S?
Solipsism.
Okay.
No, Solipsism.
Okay.
Solipsism.
Solipsism. All right, cool. How do you feel about like the soul of humans? What's your opinion on that?
I don't think there is a soul. I don't think consciousness can like go through other things. But I mean, I think that's more of like a religious point of view, and I'm an atheist, so I think that comes with solipsism, really.
Being an atheist?
No, I think yeah, being an atheist. Not all atheists are solipsists, but I think all solipsists generally are atheists, unless the fact like do you read creepypastas at all?
A little bit.
I fucking love creepypastas. I actually just started reading them again the other day. Yesterday, actually last night. And there's a really good one. It's called The Egg. And it's this guy, like, he lives this entire life and then he dies. And when he dies, he goes up to heaven. And he's talking to God.
Mm-hmm.
And God's like, "You ready to go back now?" And he's like, what do you mean? Well, I'm ready to go back. He's like, "Because you have to." He's like, "Why do I have to?" He said, "Because you haven't lived all of your lives yet." He's like, "How many lives have I lived?" And he names off all of these lives. He goes, "How have I lived all that?" I said, "Everyone that you see on Earth is you, and living a different life." He goes, "You are Hitler, and you're the people Hitler ordered to be gassed." You're the homeless man on the side of the street that was given $5, and you're the guy who gave the homeless man $5. Everything was created for you.
Did a solipsist
And
write
you
this?
are everything. I don't know. I don't fucking know the guy.
No, I mean, it seems like that's the same idea you're talking about, though. Not like directly, but that's a little bit more fantasy-esque, I guess. More like, I don't know.
Well, like a god complex sort of thing.
Well, I love the idea. Like, I love shit like that.
Yeah,
really
me too.
cerebral
I
stuff.
love
That's
that
really
stuff.
awesome. The idea of that. How could he be living them all at the same time, though? Or is that not really the point?
Well,
Is it that his
because
base...
he's living one, like all the other, he lives them all at separate times, but because they are in a different time, at least that's how I picture it. Like say your 88th life is a guy in the 1400s, right? But your first life is a guy in the 2000s, right? You can't have the guy in the 2000s without the guy in the 1400s. So basically, like, he lives all of them how he views as separate times, but they all take place here, and like is transported back to like these different times to act out these lives.
It's also possible too that I'm thinking of it way too linearly. That you literally could be that you could be living in these different portions. Like you literally could be Adolf Hitler and the Jews that were gassed because you are them at the same time. I mean, it's just these are concepts that I can't really.
Well, that
I can barely
nobody
even
can
think about.
It's our brains weren't built to fucking picture shit like that. You know what I mean? That's why the people come up with these things are these fucking autistic scientists that fucking they just have their minds working absurdly different ways than ours. Like, I've always kind of been a solipsist, but I never had a word for it. I never knew what it meant. I never really thought into it until I heard somebody else talk about it. I was like, yes, that's exactly... Same thing with, like, politics. Like, I've always been libertarian conservative. I just always thought I was a Democrat because what I would see on TV is like, oh, conservatives are racist, they're bad, blah, blah, all this stuff. And you have to think this way. Like, I watch Family Guy. Family Guy's a hugely liberal show, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, yeah, this is how I am. But then I think on the other... But then, like, I started watching Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder. Milo was huge for me getting into it at the beginning. And they're like, no, like, this is what they say. This isn't actually how it is. And this is how they say we are, but this isn't actually how we are. And then you get both spectrums in the same thing. And you're like, no, I agree with this a lot more than I do that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But when you only have so much limited information, you can only think you are something that you know. You can't think you're something that you have no idea what it is. So, like, I thought all Republicans were racist.
Yeah.
That's just not true. I thought all fucking liberals were the best guys in the world. That's just not true. Know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Here's a question, actually. I was just thinking about it last night when I got back from work. I got home, it's a clear night, I looked up at the stars, and I have this experience like once every month where I look up at the stars and I think, like, what the fuck, you know? Like, what the fuck is all this? And my question for you as a solipsist is, how do you make sense of all that space, of all the stars, galaxies, that you created it all?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I respect your point.
I didn't consciously create it. It was there in order for me to be.
But why would you need all that space, though? What's the point of all that? Just to make the nighttime look pretty, or is there a better reason for it?
Well, think about it this way. Say solipsism is, like, real. Say I am the only real person. And say I live multiple lives. Like, when I die, everything's gone, but I'm still there, so I just create something else, right? Like, I think, oh, I'm dead. Like, oh, this is my last moment, I'm dead. And then your brain's still there, and it's like, all right, well, we're going to create something else now, right?
Okay.
So everything that's real in this reality, right? Like, say, why would you create the stars? Why would you create the trees? Why would you have all this shit? It's because maybe next time that will never be there. And I could never have this conversation because it's just not there, and I would never imagine it being there. You know what I mean?
But why would you need to create this specific world with these trees and these animals and this water? Like, why make these things that are so scientifically grounded in what we now have discovered as, you know, modern chemistry and whatever?
Because if there was no answer, then it couldn't be real. So there has to look like there's something real, something grounded in reality. Has to be to where no matter what's happening, there is a reasoning for it that I create. Like, I'm a solipsist, right? I don't have fucking 2 + 2 = 4. That makes sense to me in this reality. Say I died, went somewhere else. maybe numbers aren't even fucking around. You know what I mean? Like, it's just everything that we can comment on is because I created this reality, whereas in a different one, none of this would be anything similar. So you can only do with what you're given. And my brain created all of this shit just because there's no other way at this point. Like, say solipsism was the way to go. Like, it was completely true. And, like, I looked up at the stars, and I was like, how are there stars? And there was no part of my brain that's like, oh, well, there's gas, there's hydrogen, there's all this shit, and they combust, make supernovas, create more stars and everything. And then I'd be like, say there was no answer like that. Like, I just looked up, and I was like, this can't be true. Like, there's no possible way that this is real. Then what the fuck is my brain doing? Like, then there literally wouldn't be anything if I could prove that nothing was real.
I guess, except that, but what we've done, though, throughout time is that there have been things that we couldn't figure out, and then people did figure them out. Mm-hmm. Like, there was not, I mean, I'm sure in 15,000 BC, whatever the fuck, that you looked up at the stars, they thought that it was probably, like, a solid sheet of fucking whatever just being displayed above them, like Truman Show-esque, but nowadays we know that there is this expanding universe that has these stars made up of hydrogen and fucking whatever. There's fission going on that creates heat that gives life. I mean, so in a way we've discovered these things because we did have questions and then we figured them out. I guess maybe I'm more human-centric, I guess. Maybe I'm more willing to accept that.
In that case,
I'm more of a humanist, I guess.
I'm born now, right? Like, I'm only in this part of time.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to ask all those questions. Those questions are already answered.
Do you think you would have been a scientist in the 1200s, I guess, trying to discover
me, like
the sun or the stars? Or
like
whatever?
If I was born in the 1200s, would I be?
Would you ask those questions, or would you accept?
I have no idea.
Or do you think you would accept the truths of that period of time, where you would just?
I honestly can't answer that. I wasn't there. I'm here. I wasn't there, so I honestly have no idea what I would have done.
Because I think, okay, here's a good way to describe how I'm thinking right now. So I'm thinking of when you're describing your perception, I'm thinking of time in two different ways. Either, and I'm curious which one you think is more accurate. So, fuck, I should something I can draw. I'm gonna get something to draw.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna draw something. This is easier.
Oh, okay.
This shit's really interesting.
Get your drawings in.
Perfect.
Oh, that's actually sweet paper. $100 bill paper. It's actually sick.
I don't know why this is what I had.
No, that's sweet.
All right, find a good pen here. Or pencil.
All right, get your fucking writing in. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna play fucking Vape God.
Flower on it.
After this, you want to play some video games?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Sounds pretty good.
Time Splitters, Fortnite,
Do some Time Splitters.
Diablo.
I haven't played Time Splitters in forever.
Time Splitters sounds fucking groovy to me.
All right, so we've got time 1, and then I'll just draw one here, and then okay. So this is the first way I'm seeing it. So this. So okay, it's kind of.
All right, so your first one's time can only
go
go forward.
So time is just continuously, maybe not even just going forward. Think of it kind of like a Kurt Vonnegut thing, where like time is one rectangle of space.
So everything that
that's
happens
existing.
has happened.
So right now,
already.
So this is Dylan.
You're talking about fucking.
So Dylan 1.
Are you talking about
Slaughterhouse 5?
Slaughterhouse?
Yeah.
Fuck, that book's so good. Dude.
All right.
Oh, it's amazing.
So here's what I'm thinking. So this is the first example. So this is time. Time is just one long strand. It doesn't have to even be. It can go either way. One big strand. You happen to be, your 90-year life or whatever exists in this portion of time.
Yeah.
Or maybe your consciousness after you die here puts you here or puts you up here or whatever. Is it like that, or is it like where instead of this one, this is you, and as opposed to it being one continuous block of time, your bubble places itself in random places. So it's not existing around you. You literally are everything. And then let's say now you die here, you come back here. Now you're Dylan 2. None of this matters, though. This is all that matters. Whereas before, you're coming back in different times. So it's more like, are you coming back in certain times, or are you making time around you?
Because
Because one of them assumes that it's a continuous thing that you're not changing, that you're just taking place in. The other one assumes that you literally are everything.
Okay, you're thinking of this two different ways. There's two different paradoxes. There's the linear time theory, which is stuff that happened 100 years ago leads into now. And it's all just straight. Like, you can't go back, right? Because it's all straight.
I think you could possibly go back.
Well, I'm saying with the linear time theory, you cannot go back because everything's going forward. But then there's like the other theories where it's time is a dimension, and it's not forward, it's not back, it just is. And you can, because it just is, you can go anywhere in that time period. You can go now. I end up fucking 800 years in the past, 900 years in the future, but there is no future because everything has happened, is happening already, and you just see it wherever you happen to be at the moment. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, part of it is, I think, like, with this first example, I'm still assuming time can be forward or backward. I think this one, you aren't the god of this whole universe, you're just being put in different places by your consciousness. This one, you literally are the god of everything. Like, you're in charge of everything. Everything exists around you. This one, though, you're being placed in already pre-existing times.
So you're saying, like, what I believe?
Yeah, what do you believe?
I believe generally that, like, I am...
So you'd be more... Continuum. So, like, when your consciousness is continuing, everything exists in, like, a fog... So, basically, this is all a big fog of war, but this is all clear on the inside because you're in it. Whereas, if you died, now everything's dark until you reappear again. Now... it's lifted in this one spot here, and then now you're there.
Something like that. But this is the problem with the whole thing. Solipsism is assuming I'm right.
But for sure.
I could be completely wrong. And in case I am wrong, it's fun to figure out what other theories I would subscribe to. So, like, generally, do I think that, like, I'm the only one here? Pretty much, yeah. But could, like, someone present other information along the way where I could say, like, oh, yeah, like, these other theories work, like time travel, like Back to the Future shit, you go back to the past, change what happens in the future, stuff like that. Yeah. No, absolutely. Like, that stuff's awesome for me to think. But, like, I'll never know, I don't think, so.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think it's good to just not really know, to at least... I think it's a sick idea. Like, I like the idea a lot.
I love theorizing.
It's a really cool
fan
idea.
Theories and actual space theories, sun theories, all that shit.
Because the thing is, I'm not arrogant enough to assume that my point of view is correct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too. Like,
that's kind of why I'm agnostic. I'm more agnostic.
Generally, I have no idea. I can only know what's given to me. But I could be fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like, I don't think I'm wrong, obviously, or else I wouldn't think it. But there's a huge possibility that everything I believe is just not true whatsoever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I think it's cool that you're at least figuring something out that you like and that you want to stick with it and use that idea.
No. I don't want to stick with it. I think it's a horrible idea that I'm the only one. I do not like that. I just can't convince myself otherwise. But, like, what do I hope for? That I'm the only one here, or that you are you and I am me?
But you're not alone.
Two completely separate entities.
Now, that's what I believe, because I believe more in the idea of humanism, that we're all separate people with separate consciousness, all living together in this world.
Oh, I think that should be how it is. I just can't convince myself that is.
But and this is kind of what I was talking about before, is that even if what you're saying is right, when it comes to solipsism, that you are the only person, your brain's doing a great job convincing yourself that everything else around you is real to make that reality seem more grounded. So honestly, this is the old question, like the blue pill versus the red pill thing in the Matrix, that, you know, if you're taking the blue pill, then what does it matter? Because if everything seems real to you, I'm real to you, your girlfriend's real to you, your life's real to you, what does it matter? Does it really matter if you're the only person here? If everything else seems believable, and your brain's trying to consciously make it seem real, so you have something to ground yourself in.
Exactly.
In that case, then live in the world. I mean, fuck it, you know.
But okay, that's another thing. Is it better to know and be uncomfortable than to be comfortable not knowing?
That's definitely case by case. I think I'd personally rather...
Generally. I'd rather know and be uncomfortable than not know and be comfortable.
We talked before, I think, about, like... Isn't it like... Oh, the incest thing, right? Would you rather have sex with, like, your first cousin or something and have nobody know, or do it and have everyone know and have to try to, like, prove you're wrong? I said I'd rather do it and have nobody know. You'd rather fight it, though, and have people know the truth. No, people think you had sex with them, but you didn't actually, and they think it's whatever. But like, anyway, you chose the path that had more resistance, but required you to be completely morally correct,
Yeah.
and that was your path to fight that. Which is why it's interesting that you are a solipsist right now, because that's actually kind of more accepting that it is just kind of what it is, that you're not seeking the further
Well,
answer.
no, because basically, how I'd argue it from a different point of view. Like, I would rather know and be uncomfortable knowing something bad, but knowing what actually happened, than to live in a fantasy world and to be happy with things being wrong. I'd rather be pissed. Say a girl cheated on me, love of my life, greatest woman in the entire world. She cheats on me a year after we get married. We have kids and everything. Would I rather not know? Say she never does it again. Would I rather not know that she cheated on me and live an amazing life and everything is perfect, other than that one thing, but I have no idea. So everything to me is perfect. Or would I rather find out and go through a lot of shit? Know what I mean? I would rather.
True.
In that scenario, I'd rather know that she.
Except you're taking this from the point of view like like you have the choice. Some people don't have the choice though. They're
Nobody has the choice
Well,
to know or not know.
Okay, all right. That's
Generally,
fair. That's fair.
generally.
It's probably easier to talk about it now because you're assuming that this scenario is obviously one that we built up ourselves, so you can make that choice.
Exactly. So I can create.
But I
I
think
can, it's a binary decision. Other than there being.
It's difficult though because if you in that same situation with the person who cheated on you, if you could live the rest of your life, you're both happy together, you've got a great life and everything. If you did know, it would solve that unanswerable question. But I mean, if you never would know and you'd be happy your whole life, you wouldn't have the desire to know, nor would knowing change anything. I mean, okay, no, it would, but like the desire to know wouldn't be there because you would have no idea. So you'd be living in blissful ignorance. I mean, but
I would rather live in cynical reality than in blissful.
But how would you know the cynical reality existed if you were ignorant?
You wouldn't. But I'm saying, given the options.
Okay, if you were given this kind of like
what I would rather,
like third person omnipotent option,
Yeah,
like
pretty
hey,
much.
here's how your life's going, Dylan. Do you want to just like I guess I say that before, but like the Morpheus thing, like here's the pills. Which one do you want to take? And
do you want to be depressed and know, or be happy not knowing? I'd rather be depressed and know.
Interesting.
What would you? You'd rather be say
It really
same
depends.
scenario. You'd probably rather
Because I think
have her cheat on you and you not know.
the way that I'm thinking about it is that if I didn't even know, but we were both happy, then there would almost really be no question as to what I'd pick because then I would just be content. I think
Okay,
I think
but-
my search, I'm searching for contentment through my career, through my hobbies, through who I am. If I'm content, I mean, there could be
this would
somebody
be a
right.
lot better. Just completely gone. You know what
I don't
mean?
know. We're having a discussion about this. I
No,
don't-
but I know
it would
I
be
love
more.
this discussion.
It'd be more spacey.
It
for
would
sure.
It would be crazier.
It would be way fucking crazy,
would
but
be.
I could think of it more clearly now. And what I'm saying doesn't sound as retarded as if I was like really baked.
Yeah.
But I mean, like there could be somebody right now pulling all the strings in my life.
Master of Puppets.
Like, yeah,
Master of Puppets. I'm pulling your strings,
Metallica.
twisting your mind, and smashing your dreams.
But the thing is that
Blinded by me.
I guess in the same way you're talking about how if the world is existing within your consciousness to kind of reaffirm that. There could be somebody pulling all my strings, and I have no idea. But they're making, and I think we're talking about karma, and we're talking about
We're
fate.
basically talking about whether you are in control or not. So, like, if I think I'm the only one, that means I'm in control. If I think that everything around me is real, and I'm not the only one, then I'm not in control because I can't. I just don't know what's going
I think
on.
there's some psychology to back up the fact that we're not really completely in control, if you believe that.
Well, no, because as solipsist, I won't be in control either because my brain's creating all of this shit, and I can't do anything about
That's
it.
part of it. The other part of it, though, is that there are learned experiences and reactions to things that are so ingrained into who we are that I react to things now in a certain way because it's a part of who I am. Like, if somebody yells at me, I'm going to react in a certain way because it's just a part of who I am now.
Other than
I'm
how you
making
would-
unconscious decisions that are just rooted in my DNA and my
But
code.
how you would react now was probably different. Like, say before you came back up to Plattsburgh, came to Regal, before you got, like, fucking, you broke up with your fiance and everything. How how things would have hit you then versus how they would have hit you now is probably a lot different.
Yeah,
because I'm not saying I'm some
That's
sort of
true.
big fucking influence on your life, but the amount of times like we've discussed these things and I've challenged like your ideals and your opinions and all this stuff, like how things would hit you then is nowhere near how it would do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Like even when it comes politically, like me and you have gone back and forth on a lot of shit, and you've changed my mind on some things, and I've changed your mind on some things. Like how it would have been before versus now.
You're right.
Is much different with more evidence, more knowledge, and more just change of opinion.
Yeah, I think things can definitely change.
I probably have been a decent influence on you, like just same way you have
I
been
mean,
to me.
the fact that I've literally watched more conservative content and that I've introduced myself to different ideas around the world, and the fact that that I don't subscribe to ultra progressivism now. Like I thought, like before, I was okay with people being like hardcore third wave feminists and everything. Like before, I would have been like, it's their point of view, whatever. But now I see some of the arguments they make, and I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like that point of view is toxic. It's damaging to the social climate. And so yeah, you've challenged me to not accept things at face value, which I used to before. Before I would see something and be like, yeah, all right, sure, that's fine. But there's a lot of value in challenging things. Like that's why I want to talk to you more about your solipsism, because I'm like, that's a cool idea, and I'm curious to see what more you can say.
Well, see,
about
I
that.
like talking about this too because like the fact that when I talk to this with most talk about this, because I talk about this shit a lot. I'm very like open. I don't care. I love having these like kind of deep talks and shit. Like normally like people hear that and they think it's so fucking bananas and crazy that they either accept it or just deny it right off the bat. Like they're either like, okay, that's what you think. I do not agree with you. Fucking a single percent, whatever. Just I don't care. Or other people are like, you're probably right. I can see that. And then there's nothing.
Yeah.
Me and you have differing opinions on here, even if you do have the same and you're just playing devil advocate or whatever. All I'm getting like these strict like, well, how are the stars here then? How are blah blah all this stuff? And I really have only been able to keep the same argument the whole time because that's what's real to me.
Yeah.
Whereas you're giving me these other things like, I didn't think about that. Like, how is this there? Oh, you bring up these other things like maybe he's right this whole time. Like, it's better. That's another thing when I'd rather know the hard truth and live in blissful ignorance. Like, I'd rather have you sit across from me right here and challenge every thought I have. So I either have to learn more to prove myself right.
That's true.
Or
yeah.
I can know that I find out that I'm wrong. And then I know the actual truth.
Yeah.
It's same thing. Like, I'd rather have you sit here and disagree with me and challenge how I believe, and we can debate on this stuff, and like you give me other options where I can either strengthen my own beliefs or maybe like lessen a little bit and be like, hey, maybe he's right, other than you just sit here and agree with me.
That's what I find happens a
there's
lot.
There's no progression here. If me and you sat here and talked about all the shit we agreed with, there would be no point in listening to it because it'd be like, hey, what's your favorite Dire Straits song? I like Soul to Swing. I like Soul to Swing too. Yeah, it's a good song. That's a great song.
Oh, okay, so
there's nothing to that. But if I sit here and I say, oh, I like Soul to Swing, and you're like, dude, Money for Nothing's the best song ever. I'm like, Soul to Swing has the best guitar solo, has a great intro, his voice sounds cool. You're like, no, Money for Nothing's a little bit longer, has more of like a boom to it, it's more upbeat and blah blah all this shit. Then like that's more because you're like challenging exactly how you think.
Absolutely. Well, I think you're describing the opposite of what most people I've observed who are young have.
No,
Most young people, they can go on Twitter, it's your boy Derek, or fucking, I made up a name, but it's probably a real name. He can just say that, guess what, guys? I discovered that puberty happens when you're 5 years old and you can start fucking when you're 6. And they're all like, dude, look what I saw on Twitter. My 5-year-old can start fucking now. Like, you know.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for
John.
him. Good for him. They're all fucking, everyone's getting STDs now. Because they all put their hand in their mouth and stick it up their ass at the same time. They're all getting AIDS. I don't know.
I don't know if that's how you get AIDS, but
I don't know. But it's
I'd
just
had
like
AIDS for a long
but
time.
I would have already gotten AIDS a while ago. I love doing that. But it's just like people see that shit and they believe it and they don't challenge it. They don't think for a second like that sounds stupid. I don't like that.
That's one of my favorite things about politics. Is that granted my Twitter feed, it basically consists of Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Steven Crowder, Dinesh D'Souza, people I agree with generally.
Yeah.
Like that, Jack Posobiec, people like that. Like people generally share my beliefs. But I watch every Bill Maher episode. I listen to Dave Rubin all the time. And I think Dave Rubin's pretty much in the same boat as I am on a lot of stuff. Still different, and it's a lot different than the genuine consensus that I'm normally subscribe to. So like one of my favorite parts about politics is finding out what you believe. have people reinforce what you believe, support it, give you more evidence than you had before, but you also see differences of opinion, and then you either figure out that oh, I still agree with this because I can see fallacies in this guy's argument, or you're like,
Yeah.
he's just pointing out everything wrong with my argument. I'm trying to point things out wrong with him, and I can't do it. So I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I love about politics is getting other people to change their minds and agree with you, or changing your mind to agree with somebody else. I was pro-abortion my entire life. I wasn't pro-life up until about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Watching all these Ben Shapiro videos, all these Steven Crowder videos, stuff like that. Like, I was like, I used to think abortion was right because you can do whatever you want with your body, and I didn't think that a fetus was a life yet, right?
Yeah.
But now looking back, but then I watched all these videos. It's like, listen, there's a heartbeat at like 3 to 4 weeks. Like, they look like a human baby. They have different DNA. They have all this stuff. Like, at 6 months, if you kill the mother and put the baby in an incubator, it's gonna live. Like, how can I tell that this isn't a life? It must be. It's completely different. It suffices itself. It's all of this stuff. Like, I was wrong. Like, I think that abortion is now taking a life other than just ending cells in your stomach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was pretty big for me because I've thought that way literally my entire life. And now I realize that, at least in my opinion, I was wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know, I love stuff like that. I love being either proven wrong or proving someone else wrong. And I like proving other people wrong a lot more than I like being proven wrong. But
Based on your personality.
if I am proven wrong, I like that almost as much because then I know. And then I can use that to prove myself other things I believe and have stronger, more educated opinions on this stuff. And you know what I mean.
I know.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So being proven wrong has never been bad for me because if I'm proven wrong right now, I'm right in the long run. I'd rather be proven wrong instantly and then be right than think I'm right just to have been wrong the whole time.
Yeah, that's fair. And I agree with you on that, which is why I think that the idea of the ignorance thing, I think that, for me at least, that's more of a case-by-case basis, because there's some situations where I would actually like to know the truth. I would like to know that the way that I viewed, I don't know, EDM this whole time has been right, the way that I view things has been correct, the way that I view, like, whatever, it doesn't even matter. But certain situations, though, I think larger cases of things that I would be better off in the long run, not knowing, I guess, I'd be happier with that. But I think it's fair that you want to be knowing all the time. I think that kind of speaks to who you are as a person, that you, without any kind of doubt, would like to always know the truth despite its hardships. Me, I'd pick. And I think that, for me, maybe I'd pick my battles more.
No, I know what you mean. But on that one scenario I asked you, say you went to bed, you woke up and God was in front of you. And you're like, listen, there's two options here. You put your finger here, you put your finger here. It's like, your wife's going to cheat on you no matter what. But you either don't know and you live the best life ever, or you know. And you go through whatever you're going to go through. So you're just laying in bed and those options are in front of you. What would you pick? So no matter what, she is going to cheat on you. It's just whether or not you know.
If it will be happening in the future, I probably would pick the option to get out of it then. Knowing it, making a decision after.
You would rather...
Because I think before you described it, it already happened, but it never would happen again. That's a lot different to me than you're happy now, something is going to happen, and it's going to be shitty. I'd rather know and get out of it. That's kind of why... That's why...
Okay, but say, like, those are options, but if you pick the one where you don't know, you go to bed and you never remember that happening.
If I was given the option to pick at that point, there's no way I could just go to bed like that. It's different for me before, because before it had already happened and you weren't being given the choice. It's just you mentioned it, do you live your life not knowing and be happy, or do you live it knowing? This is like, I'm fully conscious, I'm being given the choice, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. Which one do you pick? It's a little bit different to me than Because that to me is like you're living a continuous life, then you hit a branching point. The other one was like there's two separate parallel lives. Which one would you rather be in? But that one, if I'm being given a choice, there's no way I can just accept that because then that person's not right for me, obviously. If they're going to cheat on me,
That's a good point.
That's why I'm not married right now. That's exactly why. Like there was no way I was ever going to work out. Like I literally called it. She was going to cheat on me and break up, and we were going to break up at some point and get divorced anyways. No way I was ever going to progress forward.
How long did you know that she cheated on you before you broke up with her?
A couple months.
A couple months?
Yeah.
That must have been horrible.
I
like know that.
I justified it because they didn't fuck at all, and I thought that was
they
okay. He fingered her, and they kissed for a little while, but then she eventually got out of it. But
see, that would be even.
But
that to me, that's worse. Like I would rather have a girl fuck somebody else than blow somebody else.
Interesting.
Just think about like if you're getting fucked, like that's pleasurable. It's a bad like choice. Like
blowing them
something-
is no pleasure on their part. They're doing that for someone
they're
else.
literally just like they're doing something that like granted they might like it a little bit, but I think blowjobs are a lot more intimate than fucking. In my opinion.
I definitely agree that there's one person who's not really getting any pleasure out of it. Like it's obviously like the woman might like it. I don't think women love giving blowjobs.
So that's why I think like her kissing and getting like fingered or whatever.
Well,
like,
the thing too
like
is
that sounds worse to me because like she knew that it was a bad decision, which is why she got out of it. But she was in it long enough to know that at some point it was wrong, but kept doing it. Other than like you make a mistake, you fuck somebody, you're drunk or something. It was a mistake, and like you can admit that. But like going on like that, like the fact that it didn't progress all the way means that there was a part of her that was telling her, "Don't do this, don't do this." Whereas if you do end up fucking somebody else, like chances are like you thought it was a decent idea.
Yeah, I agree with you about that. In fact, this was a guy who they had become really close friends and. You know, I even said to her, I was like, you know, honestly, it's kind of weird that you guys spend so much time together. And she was
much same thing happened to me.
And she was like, nah, it's fine, whatever. And then
I wasn't engaged. I was just dating her.
We weren't engaged at that point. I was the idiot who got engaged to her after that happened.
Wait, you asked her to marry you after that?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Yeah. Oh wait, my timeline's fucked up. So that happened. That happened actually, I think in February of 2016. We got engaged that summer. We were engaged until May of 2017. Yeah, So I actually knew for months before we got engaged, and then I knew about it for almost that entire year before I broke it off and we broke up. So,
how'd you find out?
She told me.
As soon as it happened?
Yeah, that night. She came back. She called me.
What'd you say?
I think I was playing League of Legends at the time. I don't think I really cared as much. I really didn't know if I really cared a lot because I think at that point I was already kind of like a little bit checked out. I don't even know why we got engaged. I have no idea.
That was just what you had to
I just think I just did it. But no, I mean, I think at first I was kind of upset by it, but then I think it made so much sense to me that I think it made sense. Like I figured that was going to happen anyway. But for some reason I just didn't break away from that point. I was just still stuck in it. It really wasn't until I just realized I just didn't love her anymore. That was easier at that point. But I think that happened.
You think that played into it? Or were you done before that?
I think I was
It just had to delay.
Yeah. Because then we had that whole year where we were planning to do the wedding stuff.
Like you put the game on pause.
Yeah.
And then you came back a couple hours later and turned the Xbox off.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't just turn it off right away.
Yeah. Pretty much. Because then that next year, then she stopped talking to that guy. Then the next year she met another guy. They became really good friends, and now they're dating. So I guess... I'm not sure if anything happened between the two of them at all. I know for a fact that they were...
that whole thing, like, she asked you to pay for, like, the shit?
Oh, never heard from her again. Like,
didn't you tell her that you weren't going to do it?
We talked on the phone. I sent her $500 because that was kind of like what I figured. She actually did kind of pay for me. And then we talked on the phone. I was being kind of mean with her. I want to get off the phone as quick as possible.
Well, that makes sense because, like, listen, if you're with somebody for that long... it could happen again. Like, you could fall in love with her again because of, like, the pure, like, emotional aspect of it. But when you're taken out of the emotional aspect of it, you know, like, what is the right answer to do. Like, if my best friend Alex, he has a girlfriend now. If she did...
Archer?
Yeah, Archer. If if his girlfriend did something to him that my ex did to me, I would say break up with her immediately. But if I'm him...
Yeah.
and I was in the same scenario. Say I was in the same scenario, and he would text me. He'd be like, "Dude, you know that you gotta end it." I would stick with it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Even
to see
though
it.
I know that he's right. But when you're in that emotional part, you make the bad decisions, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Which is...
There-
I
there's-
completely get why you were... Because, yeah, like, say you talked on the phone and you had a really good conversation. And say she texted you again the next morning. And you're like, whatever, I can talk to her for a little bit. And it just slowly progresses. Couldn't you see something like that could have possibly... Not saying it would have, but couldn't it possibly have maybe gone near there again?
It's possible earlier on.
Yeah.
But I did the smart thing though. We broke up, and I just didn't talk to her for months.
You can't. That's why I could never be friends with girls. Like
I
stopped dating because
there's people
always. It can always come.
Well,
back.
I mean, I'm not sure.
Well, there's one girl that I dated, and we broke up, and then a couple months later we started talking again, and we're best friends. But that's like a one. in a
But you
million
took some time
scenario.
though. Like you took some
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Like now, I would never be my ex's friend because really, her and I had nothing in common as people. We just liked. She just was kind of nerdy, but that wasn't enough. Like I'm just a way different person than her. So I took a couple of months. We talked on the phone after a while, and not even a small part of me was like, "Oh man, I really miss her." Like not even a small part.
Well,
at
that's
all.
because the defensive part of your brain was like, you have to get out of here as soon as possible. You know what I mean? Or I mean, it's possible that just you had no inclination to ever speak to her again. That makes complete sense. But what I'm saying is that subconsciously there was probably a thing that's like, what you're getting yourself back into if anything happens again. It's the same thing with like, you break up with somebody and then after like a week they're like, listen, we've had sex fucking 1,000 times and I need to get laid. Do you want to just come over? It'll be just like the other times you did it, just with nothing attached to it. You do that again, and you feel the pull.
Yeah.
You feel like you're getting sucked right back into orbit. Which is why, like, I could never do something like that. I wouldn't be able to have sex with somebody I wasn't dating, let alone have sex with somebody that I just broke up with, and then they want to just do it again. Like, sex is fun. Yeah, it's awesome. I would never do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm smart enough, although it is fucking hard. It's very hard to turn that down. Have you ever been in that scenario?
Honestly,
where you had to turn it down?
Actually, okay, yeah. Not what you're thinking though. Something else actually.
No, yeah, and you don't have to explain it. But
Not that one. The other one actually.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number two?
Not number three.
Not
number
number
two.
three, number
yeah.
two.
Number three. I don't even give a fuck about at all.
Yeah, no, I know. What
Would
you mean.
never give me enough money to get back to that again. Number two, that was actually a lot of work. In fact, actually, number three convinced me not to go back with number two again.
So number three could happen. So number three could be.
I don't even know why number three wanted to happen. Number three was weird.
I like how we're talking like fucking codename Kids Next Door, man.
Cody and Kids Next Door.
All right, we're at an hour and 50. Was that hour and 50?
Dude, Joe Rogan has
4-hour podcast. Yeah, but we got video games to play.
You're
nigga.
right. You're right.
All right, great podcasting with you.
Absolutely.
This
great
has
podcasting.
probably been my favorite so far.
Yeah, this is a good
by
one.
Far.
Besides my cat fucking up the audio earlier.
Yeah, but there's about 30 seconds in there that you can trim.
Yeah.
Other than that,
No, it's good shit. Honestly, I want to see if I can get these all uploaded and put on. Oh, let's do our goodbye for now. All right. Song time.
song time. I thought about this in the car the other day, and it just fucking came to me, and now I forgot it again. Shit, you go first.
All right, all right.
Fuck.
Okay. Last night when I was really stoned listening to this one album, Radio, based on Porter Robinson, I found this track called I Wanna Know by R.L. Grime, and my whole body was literally transported into space listening to this track. It was amazing. It's great stuff. I closed my eyes and all I saw was just binary code flashing past my face, and I was just like, I didn't know what the fuck I was. It was actually kind of awesome. It was scary though at the same time.
That sounds pretty freaky.
I got kind of scared at first, but it was sick. That's a great track.
For me, fuck. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go with this. Shit. Come on, man. There's so many fucking songs that I absolutely adore, dude. That's so hard to think of just one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Fuck it. A Farewell to Arms by Machine Head. 9.5 minutes. Fucking powerhouse of a song. Great song. All right.
All right.
Until next time, Josh.
Until next time.
Which-
Wait, you want to plug your trip to California at all?
Nah, we'll get back into that when I get back.
All right.
All right.
That'll be a
Awesome.
good one.
See you later, dude.
See ya.